waves. The day after the Green Bay Packers make a first-round selection, we're going to a relative athletic score.
Yep.
And the first thing, it may be part of the equation. His athleticism is a part of the equation, but the word production that I made fun of you for, Kyle's wish list was go get their guy.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. They didn't have to go get their guy by moving in the draft. They got their guy by the way the draft fell.
Yeah.
And when McMillan went number 8 to the Panthers, the wide receiver out of Arizona, that was baffling to me. They're the worst defense in the NFL. And they went with a wide receiver in the top 10. So be it.
Outscore him.
Mecca Buka. I liked him. I think he would be a good Packer. Mm-hmm. But to me, Matthew Golden's potential goes and there's still a production element in this, but the potential that he has beyond Buka, I think, just screams the perfect fit. You have production in college. You have a speedster that can stretch the field. You replace Christian Watson, who you can't rely on you don't know how he's going to react to the ACL injury.
He's never been healthy.
It was a perfect day for the draft in Green Bay for them to do what they did.
No, it absolutely was a perfect day for them to do exactly what they did. And when I think about the Green Bay Packers overall, as Ben is shaking his tail feather in front of the camera here for everybody on ESPN
I forgot to let everyone know I slipped and I fell and I was in the mud.
Yeah,
you're probably seeing my hat. I'm a walking disaster.
It was as Ben Brust as possible. Ben Brust got up out of nowhere to run downstairs, and all of a sudden, next thing I know, I see a picture of him with his butt full of mud, and I was like, I'm glad it's mud and not anything else.
This is the thing. At this point, it's hard to react. It's just part of who I am.
Yeah,
I got stitches on. Was that this week?
That was last week. It's very much on par.
My fiance is actually staring me in the face right now. She's like the least shocked person in the world. I run into things in the house. I drop things out of the fridge. I bump my head into the walls. I need to slow down.
How do you make sure that your child doesn't inherit those bad traits that your future husband has? Hope and pray. Y'all better go to church. If you ain't found Jesus, man, you better find him.
Well, we don't have to hope and pray about, the first-round pick.
No, we do not. And, again, all Green Bay Packers fans should be rejoicing because the Green Bay Packers were able to finally do something that we have not done in a while. And what we have seen in the past is when players fall down the board, right? Most guys I'll go to the big name, Aaron Rodgers. He fell down the board, and guess who picked him? The Green Bay Packers. Now, again, it's a different position, but Matthew Golden was rated in most people to be a little bit higher and wasn't sure he was going to be there on the board at number 23.
Todd McShay had him as the best wide receiver in the draft,
and so
or behind McMillan, had him high up in the top 10 of best available.
Very, very talented individual. So the fact that the Green Bay Packers were able to get somebody with not only potential, but as Ben said, has production, this changes the whole wide receiver room for the Green Bay Packers. So again, Packers fans, I know we have been wanting this for so long, and thank goodness Goody did not have to reach for somebody at a position. Goody had somebody fall in his lap that has a high ceiling and also has a low floor as well. And so this is a positive for the Green Bay Packers. We're going to get production. In the Green Bay Packers right now, we got our guy. We got a number one wide receiver, but more importantly, we got Jordan Love more weapons. And that is what's going to make this offense be successful when Jordan Love is able to sling that thing, or as you say, that pill slang, slinging that pill.
The pill slings should be in full effect.
Matthew Golden going to be catching a lot of them pills.
Now, look, at the end of the day, right, this is something where, even me, who's been watching the Green Bay Packers draft since 2017. Basically, when I started here, it's been the Goody era for me. And I'm excited for Packer fans. I really am. And if you don't like this pick, I would love to hear you. 800-990-3776. 800-990-3776. Outside of Ryan, the Bears fan, in Madison saying, don't talk yourself into Golden being a great pick, I would love to hear from Packer fans who may not like the pick. And if they don't like the pick, I want to know why. Because at the end of the day, when I look at this roster and I look at the way the team is built, Jason Wilde a week ago said he thinks the defense has a better chance of being top 5 than the offense. I'm trying not to be palmy, little prisoner of the moment here.
It's the moment to be palmy
If
right
I look at the roster and I look at Jordan Love, you invested money into him to be your franchise quarterback. Josh Jacobs showed that he can be a workhorse for your team. Those are two guys. Look at the front five. You have Rasheed Walker, you have Elton Jenkins, Sean Ryan, Zach Tom, and Aaron Banks, who you just signed. Yep. Not to mention a first-round pick who was hurt last year in Jordan Morgan, that split time at right guard. He's going to compete for a spot, whether he gets it, whether he doesn't. That's depth. We saw the team crumble at the end of the season when they didn't have depth on the offensive line. They have a core five and a backup.
Yeah.
You look at Tucker Kraft. What's not to love? What's not to love? Even Field Yates, I'm listening to him. Like he has everyone saying it, but if everyone's saying it, they're seeing it. He has the George Kittle type tendencies. He is the maniac that wants to block and put you into the ground 10 yards down the field. He wants to catch the ball, get first down to the middle of the field. He literally can do everything for you. He
loves to move bodies and catch footballs, and he has the mentality that you need. And you're asking for people to call in or text in if they think that this isn't a good pick. Please, because you're insane. You're insane.
Because then, here's the thing. I know Jaden Reed had a disappearing act in the second half of the season, but despite that, he still, as a first and second year guy, had 800-plus yards in back-to-back seasons with, really, as we learned, no true number one. And so now, can he benefit from the speed and the attention that Matthew Golden will bring on the outside?
And what we should, there's a lot to be excited about.
The world is Matt LaFleur's oyster right now.
That is exactly why yesterday, if you were watching the NFL draft on ESPN or NFL Network, whichever one, you saw them look into the Green Bay Packers war room, and you saw Matt LaFleur go and give a big old bro hug to Goody, because Goody gave him another player that he can utilize on that football field. And when Ben's talking about a speedster, he's talking about a guy who ran a 4.2840 or 4.2940, something real low, right? We were all excited about Christian Watson and his ability to stretch the field. Here's the difference between Christian Watson and a Matthew Golden. Christian Watson was a one-trick pony. He can catch it short, he can take it to the house, and he can run past guys. What you are getting in a Matthew Golden, you are getting a guy who can run the full route sheet, but you're also getting a guy who is extremely explosive and make big plays happen. My most exciting thing is this. He played at Houston his first 2 years, and then he moved up to play at Texas, a Texas football team that had national championship aspirations.
And he was a star on the TV screen in their run.
He was the brightest star for them. They went to him in big moments. Remember they played against Arizona State, and Arizona State came back in that game? Who were they looking to in that game? When they needed to make
their
plays,
playmaker.
They looked to their playmaker. I'm telling y'all this right now.
Do you remember Christian Watson coming out of North Dakota State?
I do recall.
Yeah. I think he had 10 catches his senior year.
He didn't have a lot. He probably had, I think.
But my point is they were picked 10 spots apart. I think Watson was 33.
I think you're right. 33,
right?
34.
So the difference in looking at a guy that was really a stretch the field guy, needs to build into the body, drop the first pass against the Minnesota Vikings. This is a guy that really can change the dynamic of the offense. Whether or not he's a 1,000-yard wide receiver or not, I don't care. The threat that he provides this early already, and then everything else is a bonus on top of that. I love that we're talking about big moments from a guy, because so many times we're this guy, even Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, they weren't even the best at their position when they were drafted in those drafts.
This is what you're saying. For the first time in a long time, the Green Bay Packers' first-round pick was a consensus good pick by everybody. By everybody. And again, I don't know why anybody would sit here and complain about a position of need. Check, you got that. A guy that was productive in college, and a guy that most people believe can be a very productive wide receiver, where a lot of people were saying he was the best wide receiver on the board or the second best wide receiver on the board, or people saying that he may come out to have the best career out of any receiver drafted in this draft. That is
still got to do it.
He still has to do it, but I'm telling you this right now. Based off the success the Green Bay Packers have had with lesser talented wide receivers and players on this football team, I look forward to seeing Matthew Golden have a great year. And then remember we played that audio before between Tet and Matthew Golden?
He was the dog.
No,
he was the dog.
I like that mentality.
Hey, Chris Larson back at the Gruber Law Offices. That's One Call That's All studio. Alex Strofe, typical producer of Kyle Russ Nortman, did have a one-on-one for a little bit with Matthew Golden, and I love the audio of what he said he would be able to bring to the Green Bay Packers right away, and if he would be excited to be a Green Bay Packer. Don't have to play it now. I would love to play it for the fans. At this point, I have juice for this team, right? Like, you have to have juice. And I'm seeing already, right? I do want to dive into this a little bit.
What is that?
Steve chimes in on YouTube. Watson's dad and brother are absolute clowns.
Haters.
If he could stay on the field, they wouldn't need to draft Golden. But Golden looks way more physical. And, again, they're just different players. They're different players. They played in different schools. Like, the production we've seen from Golden already in college will tell you it will translate in the NFL in terms of playmaking abilities. 75% of the time he was out wide. 25% of the time he was in the slot. I love this pick. And look, Goody might have wanted to get Derek Harmon. The Pittsburgh Steelers got him. That could be a blessing in disguise because Matt LaFleur was, as you said in that draft room, never happier with the guy that we didn't think that they had the best relationship in the world. And it seems as if we know from Adam Schefter that Goody wanted Harmon, LaFleur wanted Matthew Golden.
Goody was going to get his guy. If there were two guys on the board, it was Goody was going to get his guy.
Goody was going to get his guy. But now, even if it wasn't like a Matt LaFleur decision, he feels a part of it.
No.
He feels a part of it. And now you're rowing in the same direction. There's still day 2 to come, and this is where they need to cook in depth in offensive line because you have 3 guys that are up on contract, and Zach Tom, Sean Ryan, Rasheed Walker.
Yep.
But I have confidence based off of Zach Tom being a 4th rounder, being a guy that you know you're going to sign.
Yep.
Like, there's so much to dive into. 800-990-3776. It's Kyle Bruston-Ortman on the ESPN Wisconsin extravaganza here. We're taking it till 5 o'clock. We'll get. You know what? Let's get to Christian Watson's dad.
Yeah,
let's get to that.
Because, me and Christian Watson, Dad, they came at me. The Watson family came at me for saying, Bruce. And again, shout out to Christian Watson. I'm glad he was okay and healthy.
And this is what's so confusing to me, is Christian Watson was unbelievable handling the Romeo Dobbs situation.
100.
He was the best teammate you could have ever asked for. And now, like, he is getting put in a bad spot by his family.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because I really like Christian Watson. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they have an ego that doesn't, like, it's not a justified ego. What has he done that you can talk the talk and say the Packers are going to regret this and, they're going to get what they deserve?
This team is idiots. These guys are idiots.
We'll get the quotes from Christian Watson's dad. It's Bush League. Like, this isn't Little League. This isn't high school. This isn't politics. I get you can have a voice and voice your opinion on Twitter, but when you're just salty, it comes off as really, really pompous, and I'm not for it. Like, and it's a shame because I really do like Christian Watson, and he was a great teammate for the Green Bay Packers this year. Shouldn't have got hurt in a game that was meaningless against the Bears. And now they're trying to turn what is a great thing for the Packers' future into something selfish. I hate it. 800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. Lists is more. Kyle Bruston-Ortman with Ben Bruss and Kyle Wallace. I think I saw Professor Big Daddy J.A. John Anderson in the house here at the Tundra Trio. John Jurkovic, Jurko, former Packer, host of ESPN 1000, is going to join us. We'll hear from you. We'll react. I think this is a great day to be a Green Bay Packer fan. You tell us what you think at 800-990-3776. Want to give a shout-out, though, to Higher Love. Higher Love. Elevate your draft experience. The green and gold already elevated the draft experience for everyone. Elevate it even more. And if you just want to party now and trust Goody with the rest of the rounds, go ahead. Just about an hour from here, Menominee. Head over to Menominee. Elevate your experience. Certified clean green products, only the best, none of the bad stuff. Promo code ESPN Draft online or in store at Menominee. Promo code ESPN Draft. Find higherlove.com/CBD. Elevate that draft experience. We continue on with you, KBN Nation.
What a good day, baby. What
it's a great
good
day to be live.
Oh, yeah, it is.
We're cracking, but I don't care if it cracks because this is a good day, and it excites me about the future of this team, and there's still a lot more to see. We're back next.
More coming up next on the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance.
The excitement is building for Walk MS. Join in and be part of an unforgettable display of support and love surrounding people with multiple sclerosis. It takes a whole community to end this disease. This May, all over the state, witness firsthand the MS community coming to life like never before, including on Sunday, May 4th at the Summerfest grounds for Walk MS Milwaukee. Visit walkms.org today and plan to join us around Wisconsin. That's May 4th at the Summerfest grounds.
Tailgate season? Company victory party? Don't let your event fall short. V Private Bar Services delivers the winning play with expertise. We're talking custom cocktails, top shelf service, and an atmosphere that'll have your team pumped. Forget the watered down beer and basic mixers. Get the VIP treatment for your corporate events with bartenders who know the perfect pour. V Private Bar Services, where elevated hospitality runs through our veins. Explore vprivatebar.com and leave the mixing to us.
Here's Frank Wazalewski, Vice President of Access.
There are some national factory direct companies that are selling people stair lifts at twice their value. They're breaking within a year and they can't get service. So now people are paying 3 times what they should have paid from the get-go had they just gone to a local and reputable company. Call us, give us your price from your local contractor. We're going to beat it.
Access, the leaders in ADA general contracting since 1990. Will beat any stair lift quote provided by a local company. Visit allaboutaccess.com.
During draft week, make the ultimate pick your child's future. Bet on their success with Advest 529, Wisconsin's direct sold college savings plan. Here's the play. Open an Advest 529 account now until April 27th with just $25, and Advest will match it with $25. That's right. Save $25, get $25. The clock is ticking. Don't miss your shot to score a brighter future. Open your account before April 27th to score your bonus. Go to advest.com/draft25 to lock in your $25 bonus today.
Picks are made every year with the NFL Draft as each team dreams fearlessly. Let's rewind for an American Family Insurance Green Bay Dream Pick.
With head coach Matt LaFleur's first season in the books, Green Bay's championship window was wide open. However, on draft night 2020, they found themselves in a situation similar to 2005 and decided to go bold.
With the 26th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Jordan Love, quarterback, Utah State.
Just like Rodgers after Brett Favre, Love would take over as the starting quarterback in his 4th NFL season, earning himself a huge deal as the face of the franchise following a breakout playoff performance.
Love zips it in there. It's called for the touchdown, Romeo Doubs. And the route is on in Dallas. Wow.
This Green Bay Dream Pick is presented by American Family Insurance. American Family Insurance is always a great pick because their agents are there to protect your dreams. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
Draft season is all about big decisions.
Green Bay is now on the clock.
And your future is no different. Whether you're just getting started, balancing work and life, or coming back to finish your degree, Lakeland University gives you the flexibility to do it your way. Evening, online, and hybrid courses. Credit for work experience. Education that fits your life. Experience it your way. Learn more at lakeland.edu/draft.
This is the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
But then you gotta put your back into it. You gotta put your back into it.
Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, no Brad Nortman, but that's all right. We're going to have plenty of guests join us to react to the first day of the NFL Draft as we are live on the shadow of Lambeau Field at the Tundra Trio houses. It's football weather. I slipped in mud. I'm on a towel that's gross and dirty, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I love it. It's football weather. It's Green Bay, and Green Bay showed out. The videos that they were showing on ESPN were absolutely amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it showed out. It gave me Deer District vibes of Wisconsin, and an opportunity for people to crap on them as much as possible in the city, and it being Green Bay. All that noise, as you would say, Kyle, bumps that. We don't care. We're going to show up and showed out. It was unbelievable.
Yeah,
it was an unbelievable scene. It is day 2. There's more to happen. But, like, here, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I'm bothered by it because why the entitlement, right? The Green Bay Packers selected Matthew Golden, the Texas wide receiver, and Christian Watson, and obviously tore his ACL. From his brother said, he's likely to be out the first 3 months. But this is the quote. These idiots, man, before the selection, he followed up with, they don't want to win, man. It is what it is. More power to the young man, but I'm going to tell you right now, they deserve whatever they get. Again, followed up with, they deserve whatever they get.
That was his father who said that.
And so my problem with this is, like, I look at this as a great opportunity for the wide receiver room. And I know Christian Watson is not, he's not his family. He can't, silence his family.
No, you cannot control your...
Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks. What happened at the NFL Super Bowl when Josh Jacobs was campaigning for a number 1 wide receiver? We got subtweets, emojis, guys, I look at this as a fan and as someone who loves football and an opportunity to get better. You know what brings the best out of people, Kyle, in sports? Competition. It's like, this is great. Jaden Reed, I think, can benefit from Tucker Kraft's emergence in the middle of the field, Matthew Golden's outside threat, and he can be the gadget guy and be a great compliment. If this is about winning, this should be about this room coming together and competing. They don't have to love each other, but if they compete and make each other better, this is the one spot that I'm not worried about. I love Golden, but you're going to need Jaden Reed to be a consistent year 3 player. Not up, not down. You can't lead the league in drops. Dontavian Wicks, year 3. Would be great to see that separation take into effect, and he got rid of his drop problem. So there's so many good things going for this team that I just hate the negative energy around that room because it's such a positive thing for the team as a whole.
Yeah, I think you see a lot of youth and immaturity when you talk about inside that room. Just guys, they didn't need to do all that tweet and stuff, but that's the way that they felt, right? And I think one thing is this Green Bay Packer team needs to make sure that they have some sense of leadership. And I know I know Tucker Kraft talked about being a leader next year, but it needs to come from Jordan Love. Jordan Love, this is your time to be the general on the football field for that team. You need to make sure your troops are aligned and together as well. Now, addressing the family of Christian Watson. Christian Watson seems to be a fantastic young man. You talked about
reiterate it, man. He was awesome as a teammate in 2024 when Romeo Doubs went MIA, literally.
But even in the last game of the season when he probably shouldn't have been playing, but they had other issues where people couldn't play, Christian Watson, coming off an injury, decided to step up, and unfortunately, he tore his ACL in that game. So Christian Watson is a great, great guy and also a good wide receiver. And what upsets me about the comments is that the Packers are trying to build a championship roster. How are you mad that the Packers decided to add more ammunition on the offensive side of the football, especially with the fact that your son that has a torn ACL is not going to be back? The Packers actually made a good move because they understand they're going to be missing a key component of their offense.
It's almost a compliment to Christian Watson.
It is, because if Christian Watson's healthy, we don't know what would have happened. But what we do know, he's not healthy, and that played a role in the decision that the Green Bay Packers had to make yesterday. Now, sitting here as parents, and I understand Christian Watson's dad did an excellent job raising him, clearly. But the problem is you're putting your son in a compromising situation where now he has to have media members, people on social media, everybody in the news outlets talking about something that you said, something that you and your son said about the organization that pays your son and appreciates your son. Those comments were uncalled for, unwarranted, and you need to get out of your own emotions, because at the end of the day, saying it is what it is, you should be ecstatic. Your son, the team that you cheer for, just got better. They're going to address the defense. They're for sure going to do that, but don't get in your chest and don't get in your feelings about this. Be more positive and don't put your son in a compromising position like that. So that's not
because if he does come back, he can also contribute to the team. No, he can.
No, he should be able to.
This is what I love. This is what the competition side of me loves. As Chris and Nashota chimes in on the Carbless Talking text line, 800-990-3776. Golden was a great kick in the tail for the rest of the wide receivers to pick up their game in key years of their career. You have Dobbs on a contract here. Yeah. You have Jaden Reed, who's going to be in year 3, Dontavian Wicks in year 3, who are going to be moving in to prove what their value is and if you're going to want to extend those guys.
Yep.
So I love that. These are key years for a young group. We talk about the youngest team in the NFL all the time, but I love it. Yeah. I absolutely love it.
No, I love the move, but again, I'm so disappointed in Christian Watson's father and his son. I mean, it is what it is. His son's young, but as a father and a dad, you should know better. You should absolutely know better, especially somebody who tweets as much.
It's also talking out of both sides of the mouth because he was the one who was trying to support all the wide receivers in the middle of the year, and I know they all kind of were growing together, but unfortunately, it's the National Football League. This isn't politics. This is a business.
No, you know what they should do? Believe in your son. Believe in your son. Ben, you talked about competition. Believe in your son. You should be ecstatic because when your son comes back, there's somebody else in that room that can assist him, but also, as Ben said, push him. But believe in your son. What he did was got salty about the fact that the Green Bay Packers didn't draft on the defensive side of football. They going to take care of that. Talking about they not trying to win. This is a winning move. If you watched the Green Bay Packers last year, which I know you did, they were leading the lead in drop passes. So obviously there's an issue inside of the room. And so, like you said, to light a fire under everybody, let them know that, listen, we love y'all, but we're not going to accept anything but high standards. This is what that signals. And so, again, you're a competitor. Your son's a great competitor as well, but I expect much better, much better. This, to be honest, that's a loser mentality. That is a complete loser mentality, and he know better. He better than that, and his son is much better than that. That's why I know Christian Watson ain't looking at this and being all nervous. Christian Watson, because he's a team guy, is looking at this and saying, great, the locker room's getting better. I can't wait till I come back to help elevate this offense. They're going to kill it without me. Wait till I get there. Wait till I get there. That's the mentality I want, not this loser mentality of being all scary because they drafted a guy at your son's position or drafted a guy who wasn't on the defensive side of football. Stop that, man. Stop it. Embrace competition, man.
Get draft day ready with Tequila Mi Campo. Mi Campo, made for Wisconsin, made for those who live louder. What a perfect time. Perfect timing. Professor Big Daddy J.A. We're going to break. Please enjoy responsibly. 2025 imported by Mi Campo Spirits in New York. Tequila 40% by volume. It is day 2. Joining us next. You got to stay inside the red tape. You're a TV guy. We got to make sure you're on screen. Still beautiful, John. Just less makeup. Coming up next, John Anderson, Professor Big Daddy J.A. of ESPN. Next.
We're back after this on the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance.
Beat the tariffs this month at Cunis. Get your tariff-free car, truck, or SUV before they're gone. All current in-stock new vehicles are not affected. Plus, take advantage of employee pricing and huge manufacturer discounts on select brands and models. Shop from over 2,800 cars, trucks, and SUVs group-wide from 18 new vehicle brands. Our loan experts will work to get you our best interest rate possible. And our Fresh Start financing program can help you get approved regardless of your credit. Plus, you're covered by our lifetime no-fear powertrain warranty, included with qualified new and pre-owned vehicle purchases. Visit your local Cunis dealership today for your tariff-free vehicle while they last. But don't wait, because once they're gone, they're gone. With over 30 locations across the Midwest, there's sure to be a Cunis location near you. Start your search online at shopcunis.com. That's shopkunes.com.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's game time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and H&R benefits consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. Happy New Year. How's business? Do you really know? We recently worked with several clients who thought they knew, but didn't because their books were not in order. Imagine thinking you were making $1 million, but because your books are a mess, you were really only making $200,000. Quite a difference. Imagine finding out expenses were not properly recorded or sales were double recorded. If these happen to you, we can help. We work with our clients to clean up their books and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit neilgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we like to visit our business clients. Don't wait any longer. Call 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The Bucks find themselves in an 0-2 hole following a 123-115 loss to the Indiana Pacers in Game 2 of their best-of-7 series. Milwaukee mounted a 13-0 fourth-quarter rally to cut a 15-point deficit to 2, but couldn't get a stop down the stretch, according to head coach Doc Rivers.
To me, over anything else, we got to be able to get a stop on a call. We not only didn't get a stop, we gave up a 3. And those are the plays, to me, that are really breaking us.
Damian Lillard returned to the lineup for the first time since March 18th, scored 14 points, but only 3 of those came after halftime while shooting 4 of 13 from the field. The series now shifts back to the Brew City for a must-win Game 3 Friday night.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. You're listening to the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Live on the shadow of Lambeau Field. It is amazing. It's football weather. It's day 2 of the NFL Draft. Kyle Bruston Nortman, no Nortman. Joining us now is the one, the only Professor Big Daddy J.A. in the flesh with students. We got students.
We've got Graham from Waco, Texas is here. He's been knocking it out of the park. He spent some time yesterday speaking with Daryl Franklin, the chief of staff, right, for Matt LaFleur.
Wow.
University of Missouri journalism graduate.
Oh, look at that. Prestigious.
And then Megan, who is kind of off camera. Stick your head in here, Megan. So
come on in now. Come on
There's
in.
Megan. And
come on
so
in.
Megan, she's from Cincinnati. She was visiting with Russ Ball.
Oh, wow.
So Russ Ball.
Tell him spend more money.
Russ Ball was the strength and conditioning coach at Missouri, ran the weight room when I was there as an athlete.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Russ ran the Missouri weight room. He's from Columbia, won a state championship.
Do you know how jealous Kyle is right now? Because we spent an entire last couple days telling the story about how he emailed Elliot Wolf to be a scouting draft intern.
Okay.
And all these kids right now with you, just because of John Anderson, are getting farther in the building than he ever got.
But so Russ, and he played on, remember Gary Ellis that played for the Packers, the really good running back? Gary was on his team with Russ. Gary was a freak. He was a shot put champion and a 100-meter dash champion.
Yeah.
Like, who does that?
That's actually...
Anyway, so Russ, but then Russ...
Excuse me?
That's
shot put and fast?
Yeah.
And then Homer would be like, well, Chamberlain can do that.
Yeah,
basically.
Anyway, so Russ ran the weight room, and every once in a while I'd be like, you should lift that. And I'm like, that's way too heavy. How about a lighter one? And then eventually now it's led him to here. So it was kind of fun to meet. We have some Missouri ties here. In addition to Armand Membo, who was drafted by the Jets.
Top 10.
I know. We were hoping Luther Burden, but that's kind of good. That gives us somebody to hope for today.
That is true. The Missouri connection is strong here in Green Bay.
You didn't know that, did you?
I did not know that. I knew you were connected. Like, I see you.
Missouri
You've done calls with us within the field of Lambeau Field.
Remember when
walking around
when
just
Missouri
like
beat Wisconsin
kicking your
in the
heels.
tournament? Knocked Finley and that group out?
I do remember that. When I say remember that, I've seen the highlights of that. I think I don't know if it was even alive.
Yeah.
What was it, 94?
Those were the table setters for you when you guys decided to just kick it up a notch.
Yeah, I got Bo Ryan stories for days, but that's not a Missouri connection. That being said, John, I couldn't get myself to do it. I'm so glad I never have to say it's been since 2002 since they drafted a wide receiver.
Right.
But the reason why I'm excited to say that is because the way the draft board fell to the Green Bay Packers, it sounded like they wanted Harmon, that the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted at 21, and then it made it a no-brainer where Matt LaFleur looked like he wanted to just love on Goody all night because now he's like, I got my wish. And the other thing is I still love about this is I know Aaron Rodgers had 3 fingers of tequila when they drafted Jordan Love. He's got to have 4 last night because he's got to be like, what the bleep, man?
You cannot make this up. He really wanted a receiver, and he never got his. But how do you feel about the pick?
He's a speedster. You're a track guy.
Right, so I'm happy that he's fast. I'm happy they got him. I don't ever think you have to push at that position unless you have somebody that you know is a Chase or a Jefferson that's is going to be a star. Otherwise, I've told you this guy before, I just want a quarterback that's really good. He'll make all those other guys better. Right?
I hear you.
Jordy Nelson's really good.
They invested in the offensive line though, so they didn't have to go offensive line there. They can find value in the offensive line later in the draft, like they always do. Zach Tom, who they're likely going to extend, is a 4th round pick who turned into something great for this team. With 3 guys up at contract at the end of the year, you're going to sign Zach Tom, Sean Ryan, Rasheed Walker. You hope Jordan Morgan, who you drafted last year, slides up. You get some depth later in the draft. So if you have an offensive line, you have a run game with Josh Jacobs, you have a tight end in Tucker Kraft that you believe can be a number 1 tight end option for you through the middle of the field.
Agreed.
You have a speedster who Kyle and I are happy about this. It's not that we're being like, oh, because he was so good in college, he's going to translate to the NFL. He made big plays for Texas in the biggest moments of the college football playoff. He was their go-to playmaker. So you're getting somebody that you've seen produce. We're not talking about a guy. Christian Watson was picked 10 picks after Matthew Golden back when he was drafted.
Right.
And you looked at Christian Watson, you're like, well, he played at North Dakota State. They didn't really pass the ball. You know, does he got to grow into his body? Is it more of a project? Like, this guy produced at a high level. He has the metrics from a draft standpoint where you're like, all right, he's fast. He fits the need. And by the way, this is a good thing for the wide receiver room because you have guys, as somebody mentioned, that are on a big year. Romeo Dobbs, he's on a contract year. Dontavian Wicks and Jaden Reed, can they show consistency? But if you elevate competition in a room, Jordan Love can make them better, but they also have an opportunity to make themselves better. Where's the holes in the offense right now?
I still think any offensive lineman injury produces chaos. I still don't know that everybo's there right away.
We saw that last year in the playoffs.
Yeah, but if you look at it, you have Rasheed Walker, left tackle.
Just shoot me down right now.
But I'm on cloud 9 right now. I'm looking at the clouds and I'm happy. You got Aaron Banks, you just spent a lot of money on. Elton Jenkins at center, Sean Ryan at right guard, and then Zach Tom at right tackle. And then you have a first-round pick who was hurt that is going to want to not sit around.
I see no holes, Ben.
There you go. I sold him.
What is the next position, by the way, that we're going to go? It's been since since we have drafted a center in the first round.
I'm going to tell you.
What's the next position?
I was just thinking about this. Think about this. If it gets to 2050, we may be talking about the Green Bay Packers haven't drafted a wide receiver in 25 years. You laugh now, but it was 23. It was 23 years the last time they did it.
2048 is the next time we're getting another one.
No, so I remember when they drafted Javon Walker and the time just flew by, but no, that legitimately, we're laughing now, but by that time, these 2 young college students will have families and be in their 40s and be a different world.
Age them. They're happy.
Listen, the Packers aged me. I was a child the last time they drafted it. Now look at me. I'm an old man trying to look young. All right? Time goes by fast.
So let's bring in Graham here.
Yeah. Graham's all over. If you got college football questions, Graham's your guy.
Bring us the best value pick right now in the second round.
Well, I'm a little biased, but I have to say Luther Burden just because of how electric he was the past 3 seasons at Missouri. And this past season, a lot of his targets were at or behind the line of scrimmage. I think it was around 45% of those. And
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's coming for our jobs already.
You can't, I think, blame him for that. I think a lot of what has led him to fall has not been his fault. A lot of teams were looking for, more film on him, and they were having to send them, route running in practice and things of that nature. So I feel like, Missouri hurt him more than they helped him this year.
I noticed when I watched film on him, I noticed that it seemed like they built the offense and they schemed him to be able to get as many touches as possible, right? And that concerned me because when I think about the Green Bay Packers, we already have a guy in Jaden Reed that we really try to scheme to make sure he gets some touches, not as many, but that was what was concerning for me, is not being able to see him run a lot of routes. And it seemed like, did he have an attitude issue sometimes too?
Yeah, and I think that came with the way that they drew up plays for him. He checked himself out of a lot of games. One that really comes to mind in the Texas A&M game, they get throttled this year at Kyle Field early in the season. And
throttled.
He catches, a 75-yard touchdown pass really early in that game that would have cut the lead to, I think, about 3. And that gets called back for illegal man downfield, and then they just can't get him the ball for the rest of that first half. And he completely checked out of that game. So I think that did hurt him a little bit.
I got to get your number because do you have TikTok?
I do have TikTok.
All right, I got to get something in your algorithm. One of my favorite things at night is when I'm scrolling, I put my daughter to bed.
Oh my God.
No, watch this. I'm scrolling, and then I get a dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, and I get the John Anderson with Steve Levy and all the guys. I get highlights of SportsCenter top 10 back when you were in the prime of SportsCenter.
You know why?
It's amazing.
Because he watches old highlights of himself on TikTok, and that's why he was on.
No, it's
top
usually
10
like 06 to 10. I'm trying to get I'm trying to get the algorithm to go 10 to 14 because I did have a couple UNC sophomore year, junior year Michigan.
What'd you drop on the Tar Heels?
The Tar Heels, it was just a Jay Billis call where he called me an athletic player, and I was like, Jay Billis didn't know much about me. And then I also hit a half-court meaningless shot that Brent Musburger went crazy for because we lost by 4 instead of 7. He goes, count the 3. And John, I got off the plane when we flew back from North Carolina. I had my phone off after losses, and I opened my phone like, dude, you won me money. You covered the spread. And I was like, I don't know what that means. Like, is that no? Back then, you don't know what the spread is. You don't. It's a new world now.
Okay, no idea.
No idea. Are you trying to accuse me of something right now?
No, not at all. I just think you got to be aware. I didn't know.
No, I had zero awareness.
He was just trying to get buckets.
So you would not have
stats.
been. You would not have been on bad beats. Some people might.
No, it would have been on bad beats for UNC.
Yeah,
UNC fans that had -4 or -3.5 or whatever, or -4 because we covered it.
There are no meaningless buckets.
No,
are there?
And of course it was Musburger, and like the game, he's like, count the 3.
Yeah, I like
thrust
that.
from half court. Meaningless. So. You got to get John Anderson's old SportsCenter highlights.
I've seen those exact TikToks you're talking about, and then always the old SportsCenter with the scrolling on the side. You know what I'm talking about there?
Yeah, every once in a while we put the rundown on the side. We went through a lot of stuff in 25 years.
Those pop up all the time for me as well. So
you and the Green Bay Packers searching for a wide receiver.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I guess I was at ESPN longer than the Packers before they had drafted a wide receiver. Yeah. Maybe that's it. I remember them drafting Lofton. I remember them drafting Sterling Sharp.
Did you know that they've drafted 4 wide receivers in the first round? 2 have become Pro Football Hall of Famers.
And then you have Walker, and then before that you have Barry Smith from Florida State, who was a washout. And then before that, either the year before that or the year after that, they drafted a guy named Barty Smith, who was a fullback from Richmond.
They drafted a fullback in the first round?
From Richmond.
From Richmond.
They drafted Barty Smith.
Can I
and
guess,
Barry
was
Smith
that during
together.
the down years?
Seems it was not. It was thin. It was thin. Then for a while they didn't have another one pick because Dan Devine traded them all away for John Hadel.
Well, we have the Mendoza line, as I call it. We have the Don Makowski line. Basically, anyone who was born by Don Makowski only saw success for the Green Bay Packers. And then anyone before Don Makowski, I remember the 70s and 80s, so it's the Don Makowski line. So half the audience right now is like, John Anderson, I remember those picks. And half of them like, I only know the good things, the Jordy Nelsons.
I have the same line of demarcation. If you're 23 and under, most people are like, oh, I saw you in that crazy show with the big red balls wipeout. And if you're older than that, then you remember that I was on SportsCenter.
That's funny. Can I ask you one last question here, John?
Yeah.
After the first-round pick of Matthew Golden yesterday, are you more optimistic about this Green Bay Packer team being able to get closer to competing for a championship?
I think I'm exactly where I was before.
Okay.
I mean, it's so hard in
800-990-3776. John Anderson does not have any more optimism. Get him.
Yeah. No, I was optimistic before, right? So I'm usually really, during the season, like, either stay the course and I don't panic, it's going to be okay. And then at the end, now it's over. It is what it was. I'm ready to be optimistic going in because I think they have.
That's
And
good.
Jordan's going to be better. I think LaFleur's going to be okay. I have to do some things differently coaching-wise for these guys. The plan's got to be different. So I think he's going to be better. And so I'm naturally, and I think that Rashawn Gary's going to do better against real players than he does in trash can and spring in training camp, where he's apparently very, very
Look,
good.
he's a first-team All-Pro in shorts
Exactly.
in
shells.
in
That guy
rookie
is
ball, or minicamps.
unstoppable. Good. So, but yeah, I will take that. I'll take one more piece, and I do think there is some shifts in the way the game is that you can win offensively. You know, years ago, this sounds really dumb, but Danny White, the old Cowboy quarterback, who was coaching arena football, and he said, "I know the games are like 70 to whatever." He goes, "Defense is actually more important." Because you just got to find those 2 or 3 stops, and it can make all the difference.
And you live and die by that. Since you've been joining us on Kyle Bruston Ortman, it is always when we come to John Anderson, they didn't get the stop that they needed.
There you go.
And they were
38-35.
They were a
Just
top
stop
10
in the
defense last year, but in those games where they were 1-5 in the division and against Philadelphia, like
crushed.
Like the one that comes to mind for me is the Lions, right? When you go on the road to Detroit and you lose by kicking a field goal, that's when you give the ball to the best offense in the NFL. Are you able to get that stop? And now part of that is now, well, you can't settle for a field goal. You have the investment in quarterback. You need to get the touchdown. So they're building a team right now that is growing with youth, but youth cannot be an excuse anymore based off the continuity that they've all had playing together.
They have grown out of that excuse.
I'm with you there. John, a pleasure to see you in person. Go enjoy all the premium access that I know with all the Missouri connections. These students are in for a treat.
Oh, they're so intelligent. I don't think. Do you know how prestigious Mizzou is? We're in the presence of some really, really smart kids.
Thank you.
Really, really smart kids. I actually feel kind of
Is it harder to get in Wisconsin or Mizzou?
I think that's probably Wisconsin.
The journalism school, though.
That's right.
But the journalism school for sure is harder to get into.
But I will say this: I applied to and got into only 2 colleges: Wisconsin and Missouri.
And you chose the wrong one.
Of course.
Now, I don't know. I think John's doing pretty good.
No, he did. He went into a great one.
Hey, students, he's a good man. Listen, listen.
They don't know anything. They're dumb in that game. They're dumb. They're going to find out I'm a dope, just like everybody else.
You said it, not me. John Anderson joined us here on Kyle Bruston Ortman. Enjoy the day. Enjoy day 2 of the NFL
like
draft.
now. I'm going to go to Jacksonville and just punt or do something, whatever it is.
If you're heading south, make sure you stop by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and their brand new sports book, 2,000 square foot video wall. You have it all. Great food, kiosks everywhere. Use your rewards card. Kyle, we love the food.
Oh my God!
You ever seen Heavyweights? I love the food. The food's great. Food's great. The food is actually great. Go to Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Enjoy the betting experience. Get some VIP tables. You know, my fandom in the NFL is my favorite team is who I bet on. But when you're in this state so long and you've been seeing the same things over and over and over again, it's hard not to get excited about something different.
It is so refreshing to have something different, but something different.
Different that makes sense.
But here's the thing. They were just talking about Luther Burden from Missouri, right?
Yeah,
controversial. Listen,
I'm like, bumps that golden all day.
Exactly. I don't want controversy. I don't want anybody that's a project. I don't want anybody that say, well, we'll see. No, I want something where everybody says they got a steal. He was able to fall, and now you put him in an offense that's already a top 10 offensive scoring last year with Jordan Love at quarterback. This Packers offense can be dangerous and something to watch out for. That's the reaction I want. I want where people saw the pick and said they're going to be dangerous versus, well, if this guy, ain't no if this, it's when this will happen, which will happen in 2025 during the NFL season.
I think I want to have reaction throughout the show on this because John Anderson said, he doesn't believe in my, I spot the hole on the offense, right? I don't believe that there's many holes on the offense left. You need depth now, right? Depth is a critical part of an NFL team, and this is what the draft is for. But when you look at the main guys on the offense, Matt LaFleur and Jay Love, it's time to cook. There are no excuses. You are a third-year starter, sixth-year NFL, maybe sixth-year NFL player, third-year starting. You have the experience. Matt LaFleur on Pat McAfee today talked about how much he is just enamored by Jordan Love, right? Like, we don't get to see a lot of personality from Jordan Love, which is fine, but to hear from the head coach how happy he is, how he played through injury, it was a resilient year for him. Even though it didn't feel that great, his QBR was top 5 in the NFL. Like, that's nothing to squawk at, knowing that he was hurt and injured with 3 different things throughout the year. If you are able to put the continuity of what they've built with a franchise quarterback, with an offensive-minded head coach, with an all-pro caliber running back, with an ascending tight end, an offensive line that is supposed to be stout, there's no more excuses. It's time to cook.
It is time to cook.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talking text line. We're on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. We're hanging with you till 5 o'clock. Don't go anywhere. It's Kyle Brust-Nortman live from the shadow of Lambeau Field at the Tundra Trio.
More coming up next on the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I think that's right in the range that Emeka Egbuka would be there. I think it's possible that Ted McMillan could be there.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
We're speculating. It shouldn't be that hard. Like, either you want to play for the Steelers or you don't, right? Like, what are we waiting for?
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Club Paragon Greenfield, Deer Camp Milwaukee, Kelly's Bleachers Big Bend, New Berlin Ale House, and Stenny's Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Biz Expo is May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center. Spend the day at the kickoff keynote event on resilient leadership, thriving and enduring in challenging times, and make connections with customers and other business leaders. Learn from the experts at the strategy seminars on topics focused on technology and innovation, business growth, leadership, and manufacturing solutions. Biz Expo is Tuesday, May 13th. Register now to attend. Biz Expo is May 13th. Go to biztimes.com/bizexpo.
Who's looking for a better deal? Well, Cousin Sub's $10 meal deals just got better. Available online only. Order your 7.5-inch meal deal today and upgrade it with a large fountain beverage, large fry, regular shake, or regular Wisconsin cheese curds. Prices vary by item from $1 to $2 a piece. Make it better and make it your own way. Now that's a better deal. For further details or to order, go to cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available online at participating locations only. Offers subject to change without notice.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like a free Wild Bite fishing kit when you spend $50 on fishing gear. Save $30 on all Kurt towing hitches, and all Blazer trailer lighting is 25% off. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Don't miss a second of the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance. Download the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app today and stay on top of it all.
Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, going to be joined here by John Jurkovic, former Packer, host of ESPN 1000 in Chicago, live from Lambeau Field. Chris Larson running the show. On site, we have Hunter Vaughn. We're hanging with all of you. I love the YouTube comments at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. People are triggered right now because you know what I'm looking forward to, and I said it the other day, Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of people punching Wisconsin, punching the Packers, punching the Bucks, like the Pacers talking trash, you know, the Lions owner and all that talking about the draft. Like, bumps all that. We stay in our lane, and we just keep on our business, and we'll be on top on the other side before we know it, and we'll be right back to being able all the ammo to talk to everybody. And even if they don't, I know Wisconsin fans in the chat are going to stay strong because they know the future is bright.
Yeah, that's the great thing about being Packers fans, right? Like, there's a Detroit Lions fan, which the Detroit Lions are good. They're very good. But here's the thing. This is your first time at Glory. The great thing about it is the Green Bay Packers, and while you were sucking for many, many years, the Green Bay Packers were winning. And guess what? The Green Bay Packers switched quarterback. You guys couldn't find quarterbacks for a long time. You guys thought Scotty Mitchell was somebody else going to be good. You guys thought Charlie Batch was somebody that's going to be good. We've only had 3 quarterbacks in the same time that you had so many, and guess what? We right there nipping at them hills. So I feel good about Green Bay Packers. I feel good about the Milwaukee Brewers. I also feel good about the Milwaukee Bucks. The only team I don't feel good about is the Wisconsin Badger football team.
You didn't even mention that. You know why? Because we have reinvigorated energy.
No, we do. We
right
do.
here in the shadow of Lambeau Field.
We have so much to look forward to going into the season. I cannot wait to the rookie camp that comes up in like the next 2 weeks.
I mean, forget rookie camp. Just like the competition at every piece of the pie here. Can Luke Musgrave have a really good offseason to be able to be a contributor? Because you did invest a second-round pick in him, and he's had injury issues, the kidney last year being hurt. And if you can have 2 quality tight ends, it also gives Matt LaFleur. Like, I said it last segment, and I want to keep doing this. We'll get to Yurko, and we're going to talk Goody. But at the end of the day, Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love have everything at their disposal.
Yeah, Brad's here, so I had to really lock in. He's not here, so I got to lock in.
Yeah, we need to lock in. We don't have our wordsmith, Brad Nortman, to be successful. And it's a 2-minute break, 2 short minutes, and then you get electricity. You get a man who wore the green and gold. You get a man who's seen it from an organization.
Did he play for the Bears, too?
No, I don't think Yerk ever played for the Bears. He didn't play for the Bears.
What the hell are you doing down there cheering?
Whoever cuts the check is who he's rooting for. I know my man. I know my man. Whoever cuts the check is going to make Yurko spew out whatever he needs to spew out.
We're doing the recruitment. We're bringing you back to the good side. Bump that. I want to turn you into somebody every time the Green Bay Pack.
You know how they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Oh, we're going to teach them new tricks. Every time the Bears lose, I want you to say, I told you so. I want you to told you so.
This is like a dog on his deathbed. You're trying to teach him new tricks in terms of trying to train him to be a Packer again.
Oh, that's funny.
John Jurkovic, Yurko, in 2 short minutes joins us here across ESPN Wisconsin. It's Kyle Bruss Nortman, no Nortman. But if you want somebody opposite of Brad Nortman, Yurko's that coming up next.
I-94 Rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
Introducing minus 196. That's minus 196 vodka seltzer. Crafted with real spirits, premium vodka, and just 3 grams of sugar per 12 ounces. What makes it different? Our freeze crush infusion process. We take real, whole fruit, freeze it to negative 196 degrees Celsius, crush it into powder, and infuse it straight into the vodka. That's flavor you can feel. Lemon, strawberry, grapefruit, peach. Minus 196 brings the real fruit punch. Minus 196. Please drink responsibly.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 2-liter bottle selected varieties Super Chill Soda, 2 for $3. 4-count double roll selected varieties Bounty Towels, $7.99. 6-pack 0.5-liter bottle selected varieties Splash Blast Water, 2 for $6. 40 to 48 ounce selected varieties Starbucks Iced Coffee, $5.49.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh, pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the NFL selects Green Bay, Wisconsin.
This is the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance.
Every single last one of us has spent hours and hours and hours and hours watching football, watching draft stuff. So for Goody to think that he knows more than everybody else, it has not been proven to be true on day one.
Because I truly believe that all the hype around the wide receivers is going to be something that we're not even going to be able to get excited for.
Now broadcasting live from outside the shadow of Lambeau Field.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
Here's Kyle Wallace and Ben Brust.
What a pleasure to be in the shadow of Lambeau Field. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace. No Brad Nortman. The antithesis of Brad Nortman would be John Jurkovic. Jurko of ESPN 1000. Carmen and Jurko, 12 to 3 o'clock because you got crosstalk with the boys Waddle and Sylvie.
How are you guys?
A lot of Bears fans are in the YouTube chat right now trying to rile everyone up. You got a tight end. I know you're a trenches guy. You want to build the trenches, Jurk. Kyle thinks he's going to be able to turn you into a Green Bay Packer fan.
We're going to try.
You played for the Packers. Do you not?
Yeah, I did.
When it comes to Bears-Packers, where's your...
So here's how it worked. And yesterday I said it when we were on the stage. When you play in the NFL, you bleed the color of the team that signs the checks. But when you're done with the NFL, you go back to rooting for the team that you rooted for as a kid.
Really?
So I was a senior in high school going into my freshman year of college when the Bears won the Super Bowl. 85 Bears, greatest defense that ever played. The 85 Bears, with all the guys they had on that side of the football. It was phenomenal. And then they continued to win, but they never won the Super Bowl again. My first year in the NFL, I signed with Miami. So I'm down with the Miami Dolphins. I'm on the practice squad. And I happen to be teammates with Marino, Duper, Clayton, all the great guys. I mean, it was so much fun. And we were winning. We were 12-4. Went into the playoffs. We beat Kansas City. We lost to the Buffalo Bills when the Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls. This was the first of those. Came up and I signed with Green Bay the next year. So I'm up here. I get cut. They bring me back the next day on the practice squad. 11, 12 weeks. I'm sitting there on the bench. Or not even on the bench, just sitting there as a practice squad member. One guy gets hurt, Sean Patterson, and the next thing you know, I'm activated the next week. Thrown into the middle of the fire. Things are going 5,000 miles an hour, man. It's like, what in the world is happening? And all I'm trying to do at that point, and it's realistic when you're a young player and you get a chance to play at a higher level, it's fast. And you can do it in the preseason, and how fast it is in the preseason doesn't measure up to what it is in the regular season. So it's just everything was going. So you get a taste of that, and the next year I come back. and I get a chance, and it's Holmgren's rookie year.
Oh,
so it's a clean slate, 1992. It's a clean slate. Everybody's on an even page. Nobody's got an advantage over anybody else because you've got to impress a new coaching staff.
Yeah.
Then went out there and got a chance to impress them a little bit, and I ended up starting at the nose tackle position in the first game. And it was Minnesota Vikings. It was here. We ended up losing the game, but I played very well along with the defense that played very well. And then next thing you knew, that built a little bit of confidence. But when I played 93, they brought Billy Moss in, and Billy started. He had an Achilles issue. Then they let me play and start while they rested him. And then I really played well, and then that's when I was solidified. I played 94, 95, all the way through 99, and then that was it, and I was done. But, so I played there, but now I'm done in 99, 2000. I moved back to Northwest Indiana, which is, in essence,
it's
a suburb.
Chicagoland area.
It's a suburb of Chicago. You go back to you're rooting for the team.
Go back to being
as a kid.
Listen, that team was not the same team when you went back. You know that. You put
definitely
listen, you
wasn't
saw
the same
you
team.
saw the drop off when you even probably had to play the Chicago Bears. You realized they were not the same organization.
But now I went to the playoffs for 3 years in Green Bay. I went to the playoffs for 3 years in Jacksonville. Went to a championship game with each respective team. Missed the Super Bowl by 1 year here in Green Bay. So at that point, I've had 4 or 5 different places that I played at. And even though I loved it up here in Green Bay, you still go back to watching who
solidified you as a starter.
Yeah, who did it? Who did it?
Mike Holmgren or
Greg Blasch.
Lovie Smith, Mark Trestman?
It was Greg Blasch, who was the defensive line coach at the time. Ray Rhodes was the defensive coordinator.
Ray Rhodes,
and then when Fritz Shermer came in, it just re-solidified. And, I played with Gilbert, and Gilbert was raw when he came in.
Big and raw.
Big and raw. By the time 95 came around, Gilbert was getting it done. At the end of 94, he was getting it. By 95, he was a gravedigger.
He was
Gilbert Brown.
Evolution.
Yeah, it was Gilbert Brown for 2 years, and then he became the gravedigger. And in 95, that's when he established himself as a dominant force in the league.
Yeah.
And that continued on.
But here's
for many
why I'm
more
confused,
years.
Jurk, because I grew up in the Chicagoland area, and this can't be good for the health, man. Every off season, I'm seeing you complain. What's the blood pressure like? How's the doctor visit?
The blood pressure's good. I mean, listen, it's good to. If you have angst, it's good to get the angst out.
Ooh.
It's when you hold the angst in that things become problematic. So if you got a problem, let it out.
You know what? I like you.
I've been
that's
doing.
What I do.
Yeah.
I let it out.
I've been
emotional human beings.
Right. I've been doing post-game shows for 3 years, and I've sat through 2 10-game losing streaks.
Oh, gosh.
You want to talk about just
one of which was last year.
Yeah, last year. And I never thought that. But I never thought a team was so fragile as the one that the Bears had last year. They get one Hail Mary completed against them, and they all turned on each other. It was grotesque watching it happen. Everybody starts pointing fingers at everybody else. That's unhealthy.
Is that the type of player, just in terms of when I say player, the personalities, the way they grow up? Is it just different now in terms of the guys that you played with?
No.
Are they softer? You call them fragile? Is there a root to this?
I said this specific team was fragile. Not every player in the NFL is fragile.
What about this organization? What about the Bears organization, though? Because even if it was this team, the Bears organization, do you think they're fragile? What is the issue of why they can't get
My problem is the McCaskies.
That's what everybody said. Did you see some of the grotesque things fans said?
No,
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I haven't, but I can imagine.
You know what I'm talking about.
I can imagine.
For those who missed it, R.I.P. to Virginia McCaskey.
Yep. But, Michael McCaskey, who's no longer with us either, he took over the team. And, he almost got the NFL in trouble when the USFL came in. He writes, how do we break the USFL? And he almost got the NFL sunk before the NFL really kind of caught on and captured the spirit of the thing. It wasn't until the 90s. I came to Green Bay. There was an ashtray welded onto my locker. Ashtray. A handful of guys were smoking at halftime.
When I was in Lithuania playing basketball, a little halftime smoke.
Yeah. By 94, they cleaned all that up. They had a new locker room. Everything looked good. They really had an effort by the league to come in and kind of clean up all the painkiller stuff that was out there, the steroid stuff that was out there. Even Aleve and Advil, they started limiting access to the players on what they can have because they wanted to clean the league up and make sure the league was on the up, up and at them. And when that started, I think that's what propelled the NFL to become the league it is now. The first salary cap in 93 and 94 was $36 million.
Oh, that's
salary cap now is
280, 275.
Jameer Chase just got more than that.
Yeah,
Jamar.
Exactly. Jamar Chase at the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm your name.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right. But that's the point of when it started to get cleaned up. That's the point when they said, hey, we've got to go ahead and look at the reputation of what we're dealing with here. We've got to make sure everybody understands exactly what's at stake. And it's been able, over the course of the years, just to become an absolute monster. And it is, and it's because it's the most entertaining game. It's because they offer you one on Thursday. They offer you the slate on Sunday. And they give you something special on Monday night, too. That's why they're able to do it. They're able to control what they have and what they give you, and they're able to fractionalize the product they give to an individual network. They end up giving you 50%, and they ask for double. I go, which is crazy. I mean, how do you end up doing that? That's what they do.
No, it's a 24/7 year-round thing.
ESPN
Everyone loves the product.
Just dumped Major League Baseball. They had 2 years left on a deal, and they said, no, thank you, we don't need you.
Can I ask you, how embarrassing is it when you hear Bears fans in a game that has nothing to do with the Packers talking about the Packers suck?
I guess as embarrassing as it might be at the NFL draft in Green Bay to have
Clay Matthews
come out and be so focused on the Chicago Bears.
And we had to let y'all know. We love dancing on y'all graves.
That's fine, but it wasn't the Green Bay. It wasn't the Chicago Bears that beat the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs last year. So maybe if there was more focus on the team that was being played instead of their hatred on the Chicago Bears, they might have been able to win a playoff game and get to round two.
It's a good spin zone.
At the end of the day, you guys ended up at the same place the Chicago Bears did.
Oh, yeah. You guys say that for how long have you been saying that for? Matter of fact, since you went back home to
2010 when you guys won the Super Bowl, right? Was it 2010?
It was 2010 Jay Cutler MCL game.
Down in Dallas, right?
Yes, it was.
Down in Dallas, you guys won. We were there. I don't know if it was 2010 or it was
2011
Super
in February. But
right after, yes, exactly.
Yurko,
so that's when you've been able to do it. That's when you could say, "Oh, hell, hey Bears, look at what we did here." And you guys have had teams. The Packers have had teams. I've been up here in 2018. I was up here in 2019 when the New Orleans Saints played up. Yeah. I came to the only game that Aaron Rodgers didn't start. He didn't start against the New Orleans Saints here. And we stayed out for 3 quarters, and no Aaron Rodgers, and then it turned on the Green Bay Packers, and then we ended up going to get some lunch in the atrium, and then we shot back to Northwest Indiana, which is where I reside now.
So Yurko's joining us here. Are you good for another one, or do you got to get out of here?
At some point I do have to. I got a 4-hour ride in front of me, and I'm going to be catching traffic no matter what. But I can stick around for
I need one more. I need something on Matthew Golden. I want to know if the 85 Bears would be any good in today's NFL, because I think they get torched by any offense. The worst offense in the NFL would torch the 85 Bears. I'm kind of just trying to see if I can ruffle some feathers here. I got a lot for Jurko. John Jurkovic, former Packer, no backbone. I guess he's got a backbone because he's sticking with the Chicago
Bears. He's too nice.
Yeah.
You're too nice.
Well,
you spin everything positive. I guess you have to do that as a Bears fan.
But that's the delusion that we deal with.
I'm philosophical is what I am.
You've
got to be philosophical in this business because I've watched it since I was a kid, late 70s when I started watching football. I was in it for 10 years, and then I've covered it now for 25. So you have to be philosophical because not everything is in black or white. Sometimes there's shades of gray that you've got to be able to find a way to operate in, and you don't necessarily have to be the best at every position. You have to just be good enough at some positions to be able to put a championship team together.
I love that.
All right, well, the great philosopher, Jurko, one last time next.
More coming up next on the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance.
Starting off with an accident northbound 41. It is just north of North Avenue, off on the right shoulder. So watch out for the delays coming up from Watertown Plank Road. They continue past Burleigh. The southbound side, of course, backing up from just south of Main Street all the way down past Appleton Avenue. Northbound 43 is backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up towards Keefe. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, decreasing clouds, breezy with a low of 39. Tomorrow, a few clouds, then mostly sunny, a high of 50 at the lake, 57 inland. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Visit any of their 6 locations in the Milwaukee market today. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
And now, unless there's a big boy trade coming that I don't see on the horizon, Green Bay is going to run this thing back and probably pick up an early round draft pick to add to that room.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And you hope that these other guys will emerge and can add, but I don't see them making a J.R. Ewing type change.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Here's Frank Wazalewski, Vice President of Access.
There are some national factory direct companies that are selling people stair lifts at twice their value. They're breaking within a year, and they can't get service. So now people are paying 3 times what they should have paid from the get-go had they just gone to a local and reputable company. Call us, give us your price from your local contractor. We're going to beat it.
Access, the leaders in ADA general contracting since 1990. Will beat any stair lift quote provided by a local company. Visit allaboutaccess.com.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Brothers Milwaukee, Champs Americana Brookfield, Double D's Hales Corners, Ray and Dot's Greendale, and Who's on 3rd Milwaukee. That's Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit tsunamiexpress.com to learn more.
Draft week is here, and whether you're watching every pick or just there for the party, Higher Love has everything you need to elevate your draft experience. As the best in the Midwest, Higher Love offers the largest selection of organic, clean, green, certified products at unbeatable value, making them the can't-miss top pick. Higher Love Menominee, just an hour from Green Bay, right across the Wisconsin border. Find them at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
This is the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace here with you in the shadow of Lambeau Field with John Jurkovic, Jurko, former Packer, host of Carmen Jurk on ESPN 1000. All right, the board felt pretty good for the Packers.
Oh, yes. It felt excellent, boy. I know y'all nervous down there, ain't y'all?
Not really.
Oh, my God.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Come on.
I mean, it's great. You got a receiver in the first round, the kid out of Texas, right?
Yep.
He goes to you guys golden. He's there for you. First time since 2002, since Javon Walker, you take a guy in the first round. Though you should never really complain because you drafted receivers in the second round, in the 7th round with Donald Driver. Antonio Freeman came at you from the 5th or 6th
I hear
round.
you, but let's add some context to what's going on right now.
Hold on.
All of those wide receivers had veterans to learn from.
Yeah, which
when they
is
moved
why,
on from Devontae Adams, they've been trying to grow together,
right.
and they need to actually invest in a real dude.
Why you need Jordan Love to take the next step.
Well, there's no excuses now, in my opinion.
You need Jordan Love to take the next step and to allow the receivers to be able to flourish.
They solidified the offensive line.
Yeah.
They have Josh Jacobs, he's a dog. He's a workhorse. He's an all-pro. He led the league in rushing 2 years ago. He was third in rushing behind Saquon and I think Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, he's a dude. You have a running back. You have an offensive line. Tucker Kraft's a solid tight end looking to make another step. And then you have a wide receiver one and a bunch of dudes. Now it's up to Love and LaFleur to elevate that.
I watched Jaden Reed. I think is a hell of a player.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if you just gave him enough love. I think.
Well, here's the thing. He disappeared in the second half.
He's a hell of a player. And then why did the disappearance happen? I saw Aaron Rodgers when he was Christian Watson was a rookie.
Yeah, Alan Lazard,
first play,
Christian Watson.
First play he threw
against
to
the
Watson.
Vikings.
He dropped it. Yep, that's game changer. That's touchdown. That's 7 points. He dropped the ball.
It's also a
quarterback
thing too.
There's a quarterback trying to make something happen for a young wide receiver. You do the simplest thing that you've ever got to do as a wide receiver. You catch 100 balls a day. You come down with the catch, you run into the end zone. What's building more confidence than that?
Yep.
So he doesn't get it. It goes through his arms, and now you got to find a way to reestablish with him. So throw him a slant, throw him a hitch, throw him a quick screen. Give him something after he drops the ball so you go ahead and catch it. I think the point is that even with, it might be to your point, even with great quarterbacks, the receivers have still got to step up and they've got to catch the ball. Antonio Freeman almost never had a career. He couldn't hold on to the football.
Devontae Adams, people wanted him out. He had butterfingers.
And then when he got it, he couldn't hold on to it. Holmgren called everybody into the middle, and he said, listen, fellas. And he just bring it in. He goes, if you can't catch and you can't hold on to the ball, you can't play football. He goes, that's okay. You get to go do something else.
Yeah.
I go, but the simple premise in practice, if you can't catch it, you can't hold on to it, you can't play. That's it. Simple as anything can be.
Did you love Holmgren?
And those guys, and then, Holmgren was absolutely fantastic.
Because Chewy, Mark Chimura, just loves telling stories about Ron Wolf and Holmgren.
You know, and Chewy, I know he's you guys' partner over there too. Chewy was the guy that came in and had a bad back. You know, Chewy's back was a question mark early on, and they were worried about, okay, is Chewy going to be able to play? Chewy took time to develop. And as Chewy went along, he became better and better. And then when Keith Jackson came in here, he responded.
Yeah.
He responded, and everything that Brett threw him, even on fourth down plays where they ran him and, he ended up catching some long balls, he caught everything. So the year that they brought Keith Jackson in to, kind of say, hey, we got to upgrade the tight end position, that's the year Chewy said, well, you can, and you did, and thank you. But here I am now, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to blow this thing up. And then they ended up paying him at the end of that, and Chewy became the tight end that he was with the Green Bay Packers for a while. So every once in a while, the player has to respond. Freeman responded. Your player's got to respond. Romeo Dobbs, anybody that you got at the receiver position, the tight end position, you've got to respond.
They led the league in drops, and you added competition to a room that should elevate the rest of the room now.
Hopefully.
That's the idea. Competition drives the best out of the players.
Yes, hopefully. Yes.
I feel good about that, but shifting gears a little bit for you all, when I think about what happened yesterday for you guys, how was the draft pick of picking, I think, the wrong tight end in the first round?
Okay.
How was that?
I disagree with that.
So
and
we're there.
So
I was here with him. We're on the stage. You're waiting to get on the stage with that beautiful jacket you had on yesterday. And let me tell you, you can wear that. I can't wear that.
Shout out to Nick Avani's in Milwaukee.
I go to pinstripes, and that's about the craziest I can get. That's all. I'm very conservative in that regard with the way that I get to dress. If Kelvin Banks was there at 10, that would have been perfect.
Yeah.
You take your left tackle, lineman. He goes at 9, so what are you going to do? We think they're going to take a tight end. I think Loveland's the better of the two tight ends.
Really?
And then they say Warren. Warren's a little stiffer to me than Loveland is. Loveland was a bad ball drill all of 2024. Is it 2024? Yeah. 2024, he plays for Michigan. Every ball that is thrown to him by three different quarterbacks is never on target, is never in stride, is never in a position where he can maybe go do something with it, except for the fact that he made the difficult throws that were coming at him, the bad balls, look easy to catch. So the athleticism that he has, he also gives you versatility in where he can line up.
He comes out of the backfield. He's a Ben Johnson guy.
I don't want him. I don't want him running the ball. out of a wildcat. That's not what I mean by versatility.
No.
I mean, you've got 2 tight end front. You play him at a wing. You shift him across. You see what kind of coverage you got.
He's good.
If you want to stop him there, you can continue him on past the wide receiver, and now you're forcing the defense in a regular defense to either have to commit a safety out there or they got to commit a linebacker out there.
He was the best. He was the best offensive player on Michigan last year. He was good. I saw him play in person. He's a good player.
Depending, and it's not a knock on Warren. I'm not knocking Warren because I like Loveland. I just like what Loveland can bring to the table a little bit more. And when the ball's not 100% perfect, he seems pretty smooth at finding a ball that's not perfect.
So for someone who was calling the team last year fragile,
yeah.
How the hell does
They're
team
getting rid of
loses
Mercedes
10
Lewis.
games?
They're getting rid of
Well, you think Mercedes was making y'all fragile?
I think Mercedes Lewis was a veteran guy that didn't do much of anything there.
Wow, he was somebody that was loved here in Green Bay.
Do you know how many captains they had last year on the Chicago Bears?
The whole roster? Don't
8.
never ask. Oh,
8.
my God.
8 captains. That's the first thing I said. I go, look, you got 8 captains, not one is an O lineman or a D lineman. I go, something's wrong here. First of all, that's something wrong. I go, there's 2 captains on the football team, the quarterback and the middle linebacker, period. That's it. Your quarterback talks to the official, your middle linebacker talks to the official. 2 captains. That's it. If you got to get a special teams guy because they're not on the field when the special teams guy is out there, then you get a guy that's going to be out there for special teams. Not the kicker, not the punter, but a guy who is your special team stalwart.
Yep.
In my day, it would have been Timmy Houck, the Weasel. He would have been there. Kid out of Montana, played 14 years in the league, some with Green Bay, New England, Philadelphia. He was all over the league.
Common day Nick Ballore from Wisconsin.
Right. Yeah. You get a guy that's on every team. He's going to be your special teams captain. That's what you've got to do. I like the tight end. I like him.
But what does that mean?
But hold on.
What does it all mean?
We get back to leadership. We get back to the fragility. So what happens sometimes is you got to go ahead and find out what the problems were.
Yeah.
The tight end, Cole Kmet, was wide open most of the time. Mm-hmm. And then Caleb's looking at him, won't throw him the ball. What's wrong with the relationship? Why? What's wrong with the relationship?
You think it was a relationship
between the receiver and the quarterback?
You don't think it's a vision problem?
There is no way you are sitting here telling me that your franchise quarterback has somebody wide open that can keep him from having to scramble and run around, but he did not like him or did not have the confidence.
And so he's decided to run around like
a veteran on the football team.
Do you know who pointed that out to me? It was Tom Waddle. Tommy Waddle goes, come look at this. And then he showed it to me. And he was open. Later on in the game, he's open, and he won't throw him the football. That's a problem. It's not a problem for Cole Kmet only, and it's not a problem for Caleb Williams only. It's a problem for the Bears. What the hell is going on here?
How do you fix that?
No, how does a rookie come in here thinking he can do that?
All right, so Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardle were with me in Jacksonville.
Oh, man, you played with some studs.
Oh, yeah.
Fred Taylor was on that team, too?
Freddie came in 98. Natron Means was there early.
Mark Brunell.
We got Brunell. We got Natron Means.
This is a journeyman right here.
He got stories from Favre then, too.
So guess what we had? Brunell was having Bible studies at the house in the pool, doing some baptisms, all types of things.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Remember the Champions for Christ thing that happened way back then? Keenan and Jimmy were there. The Bible studies every week. You know why? They wanted the football. They may not have believed what they were seeing.
They may not be saved by grace, but they wanted the ball.
They were there for their quarterback. They were there for their quarterback. And if that's what the quarterback wanted, that's what the quarterback was going to get. Because both of them thrive with the football. They got to have the football to thrive.
They sure did.
So that's why. They were there. I got invited to go, too, and I said, listen, do I have to bring my own alcohol? We're going to have some alcohol there. They said no alcohol. I go, thank God I'm on the defensive side of the ball.
I don't even ask for
nobody's got to throw me the football.
Ain't got no wine. Jesus turned water into wine,
I think the point is that you and the quarterback and the tight end have to be on the same page. They have to have a great relationship. For one reason or not, there was not the best relationships happening. And to Caleb's credit, he kept quiet.
What do you mean to his credit? He might have quit quiet, but he was messing. He was deliberately messing with the offense.
That's what I believe by watching. That's what I believe was going on by watching.
That's a scary thing to hear about.
But to Caleb's credit is that he was quiet. That he just kind of let things play out, and he watched and he learned. You had veteran presences on there that were theoretically supposed to be leaders. So what I'm telling you is the veteran presences that were supposed to be leaders that weren't leaders, that's when you slowly but surely have to find a way to distance yourselves from them.
He has convinced me that I'm not scared of the Chicago Bears next year because they have internal overhaul.
You shouldn't have
with their quarterback.
You shouldn't have been upset with the Chicago Bears last year until they came up here and kicked your ass at the end of the year.
Come on. This is ridiculous.
Did that or did that not happen?
It did not happen.
I was here. I was watching the game. I did the post-game show.
Wait, what did you enjoy?
We moved from number 7 to number 10 with that one meaningless victory against
it's the
the Green
stupidest
Bay
thing in the
Packers.
world. We shouldn't even put out the
that
starters.
put you into the second loss in a row of what eventually would become a third loss in a row in the playoffs.
Can I ask you, how did Jordan Love look in that game?
Jordan Love?
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember.
Exactly, because he didn't play as
Yeah, I can't remember.
He came out after a quarter and a half.
Hey, I had to do the post-game show. My focus was the Bears.
You know, this is funny. The Bears fans are, it seems like the organization is really excited about that one little victory they got in 2025 over the Packers.
They were. And can I tell you why, though? The narrative goes away. They haven't beaten the Packers in 11 straight games.
Narrative. 10-game losing streak.
They haven't beaten the Packers up there. But that goes away the first time they play the Packers this year.
That's true.
That goes away.
I disagree. At the end of the day, Matt LaFleur is 13-1.
He is,
and
there's no denying that.
That is embarrassing.
And beyond 13-1, he will know that Jordan Love didn't play. The starters did not play the whole game, and it was meaningless. I think, if anything, the Packers look back and say, we approached this game wrong. We're either all in.
They did approach it wrong.
I
agree.
You have to sit everyone, or you got to be all in and kick the crap out of the team. If you middle it,
there you go.
Don't know what your team is trying to accomplish.
What was the Packers' record in the division last year?
We were 1-5.
Right, same as the Bears. 1-5.
Yeah, look, I love the spin zone. It's great.
It's not a spin zone. It's factual information. I'm not
factual
spinning
information
anything.
For your philosophical mind that you need to feel good about yourself when you lay your head on the pillow.
Here's the other problem with the NFC North.
I respect it.
They don't have the patsies of the AFC South to beat up on this year. They don't have the NFC West, which they played very well against last year.
I'm not scared. I believe in the roster they put together.
I understand, but those 14 wins, 13 wins, 11 wins were artificially inflated because of the schedule that the whole NFC North played it.
Yeah.
Everybody benefited by it.
It showed in the playoffs.
12 games is what's going to be necessary to win the NFC North this year.
You know what?
That's all it's going to take.
You know what? You say that, but I'm confident it's something that, listen, I like Goody for the most part. His first-round picks used to upset me, but I'm happy right now. The Green Bay Packers fortified the offensive line. They're going to fortify the trenches in the draft as well. The Green Bay Packers are getting themselves ready to play some bully ball to be able to go up against some of those teams in the AFC North they have to play this year.
Yeah, and it's going to be a tougher schedule. It just is. It's a tougher schedule. Even Cincinnati.
I think a tougher schedule is good to prepare for the playoffs versus the fool's gold that you're mentioning if you're beating up on teams.
I agree.
You're getting wins on the resume. You're getting into the playoffs, but are you a championship caliber team?
Two teams will make it this year out of the NFC North in the playoffs. Which two teams is it going to be? Is it going to be Detroit, who lost their coach and other coaches and lost a couple of players? Will Detroit still be the king of the division, which they are right now? Will it be Green Bay?
I mean, they got to get it back.
Minnesota, without a quarterback, trying to figure out who their quarterback is going to be, should be a natural backslide from the 13 victories they had last year. But their defense is still their defense.
They're stout, and Kevin O'Connell's a good coach.
They're still... they still have it. Will it be J.J. McCarthy? Who will it be up there?
If J.J.'s good, then they're going to be really
And
good.
listen, if the Bears can get the 9 wins,
I heard
it would be a miracle.
I already shut off on
because I'm a realist. 5 wins. You don't go from 5 to 12.
No, you
if
don't.
you can go from 5 to 9,
unless you're the Washington Commanders, they did that, didn't they?
Yeah, but guess what's coming to them too? A day of reckoning.
A
day of reckoning is coming for them also, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Caleb Williams drove them down to get a game-leading touchdown. They gave the ball to, what was his name? Berger? Not Berger. They gave the ball to...
the lineman?
The lineman.
Yeah,
they gave the ball to the lineman. He fumbled the ball.
That was hilarious.
He fumbled the ball. Then they come back down again. They get the ball back. They come back down again. That's the winning touchdown. That's the game that should have propelled the Bears on to something great. Instead, Stevenson falls asleep. He comes back to the play late.
Falls asleep.
He
was out there selling. He was wide awake. He was turning up. He was getting ready for the plane ride to turn up.
He wasn't focused. Let's say there was a lack of focus.
He had a penalty before that, too. That guy, is he still in the team?
He is. I tell you what, he's a talented player. And if you could find a way to focus.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be able to turn the player down.
I think he needs some one-on-one sessions with Jurko.
He needs some
He should take this 4-hour ride
I'd like an excitable player. Because when you have an excitable player, it's easier to turn them down than it is to get a lackluster guy and try to
there's
tune him
nothing
up.
worth
It's
worse
tough
than
tuning a guy up.
Dive on a loose ball. You know, just you can't get people to change who they are if they don't have it.
So I'll tell you early on, before the rest of the draft is on, how I think the divisions. I mean, it goes next year. It's Detroit. It's Green Bay. I think Minnesota drops to the bottom, and Chicago comes on up there. Now, whether that's
Chris, mark it.
8 or 9 victories or 9 and 8 victories, either way, because if the Bears go and finish 8 and 9, in theory, they've had an improvement in the year with a tougher schedule because the AFC North is.
I gotta believe it when I see it.
But that's it. I mean,
you know how much it must suck to go into a season every year just hoping for an improvement and not saying playoffs.
Yeah.
Like we did this one time and we thought weren't going to make the playoffs.
You're gonna have an aneurysm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
They were 3-5, and Jordan Love's first year starter.
3-6, and I was losing my mind. And I knew we weren't going to make the playoffs, and all of a sudden, just clockwork.
There it was.
Clockwork. I love it.
A real organization.
The NFL is crazy because I've been 4-7, 96 Jaguars.
And the next year you flip it.
Not next year. We won 5 games in a row, went to the playoffs. We beat Buffalo 30-27. We went out to Denver when the year before they won the Super Bowl. We beat Denver.
Oh, that's when we got to the AFC Championship
30-27.
game.
Went to the AFC Championship
Lost
game.
to the Patriots.
And if it wasn't Mark Brunell dropping back and hitting Willie Big Play Clay, who happened to be with the New England Patriots on that day, he was throwing the ball to Derek Brown, and instead of throwing it to Derek Brown, Willie Big Play Clay stepped in front, and then we were done. It was 10-6 at the time.
That was quick. That was like, what, their third season around?
For second season.
Oh, my God.
Remember the Carolina Panthers made it up here to play the Green Bay Packers. And then we made it to play the New England Patriots. Both of us lost. And then when Cleveland came in 1999, they didn't get the second first-round pick. They didn't get the second-round pick that benefited Carolina and Jacksonville. They got one pick and one pick only when Cleveland came back.
I remember that because Mark Brunell being a former Packer, I absolutely love. I like Mark Brunell.
And Bruni's up in Detroit coaching with the Detroit Lions right now.
Really?
Yeah. He's your quarterback coach up there.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
The Rolodex of people Jurko knows is unstoppable. Jurk, drive home safely.
Thank you.
I've marked your NFC North predictions. We'll revisit them.
They're realistic.
When you're wrong.
They're realistic.
I
Well,
know.
if the Packers are in second place, you can't cry.
No.
That gets them to the playoffs.
I'm only replaying the audio if the Packers are the division winner.
If they win the division. Okay.
There it is. That's Jurko. Carmen Jurko, 12-3 on ESPN 1000, former Packer, the Rolodex of knowledge, longtime veteran in the NFL. Going to be a fun day 2 here from Green Bay. Tell us about Citizens Bank, Kyle.
Oh, I absolutely got to tell you about Citizens Bank. I love Citizens Bank, y'all, because Citizens Bank is the bank that loves for you to bank local. But then on top of that, they have great resources. If you are looking to elevate your banking account, you can do it with Citizens Bank. If you are looking to get into potentially getting a CD account, you can do that with Citizens Bank. But if you're looking even bigger, right, you want to buy a home, you can absolutely do that with Citizens Bank as well. So I'm telling you this right now. I opened up my account with Citizens Bank, and I've never been happier, and I love the app that they have as well. So if you're looking to level up, do it today. Do it now with a local bank. Yes, a local bank where you belong with Citizens Bank. Visit them today at citizensbankwi.bank. That's citizensbankwi.bank.
All right, it is Green Bay Packers celebration time. Mark Murphy was electric. And I mean electric. I got to hear Mark Murphy yesterday making the pick. I got to give him his flowers. He brought the draft here, and the showman showed out. I'm not going to lie. He gave me some great energy and some goosebumps before that pick. Mark Murphy and the Green Bay Packers selection. We dive deeper into Golden. We dive deeper into the day 2 of the NFL draft. Kyle Brust-Nortman just got told we're on till 6. We're with you. Don't go anywhere.
Now.
We're back after this on the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance.
Well, we got a new crash to deal with. It is on westbound 94, the ramp from northbound Brewers Boulevard in the stadium interchange. Luckily, it's off on the right shoulder. Tow trucks on the scene should be gone pretty soon, but we've got some delays coming in from about 25th Street to that point anyway. Northbound on 41, an accident north of North Avenue is off on the right shoulder as well, so we're seeing delays from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past Burleigh. And then on northbound Highway 100, we have another accident. This is right at Burleigh. The left lane is blocked with this crash of northbound Highway 100. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, decreasing clouds. Breezy with a low of 39. Tomorrow, few clouds, then mostly sunny, a high of 50 at the lake, 57 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazga on 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
It is always, always, always one of the best and wackiest days in the National Football League. That is the first round of the NFL draft. It's going to be at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The biggest storyline is, where is Shedeur Sanders going to go? Now, here's the misnomer about the NFL draft. He's falling or rising in the draft. We don't know that. We don't know if Shedeur is rising or falling because I can guarantee you, every draft board, every team in the National Football League, they're not telling exactly who is on their draft board. So that is a storyline. Where's Shedeur Sanders going to go in the NFL draft? Another storyline, how many wacky things are going to happen? You can best believe a lot of wackiness is going to happen. Maybe not late. It can happen as soon as the first round gets started. It's always been one of the beauties of the NFL draft. And as an agent of chaos like I am, and you should be with me, we should be all here for that tonight in Green Bay, Wisconsin. In 60 seconds, reckoning time for the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Clippers.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
You know the New York Knicks have heard it all since losing Game 2 to the Detroit Pistons. See, we told you. Those Pistons, those young guys are ready. But New York Knicks team, they're going to just completely wallow and get bullied away by the new bad boys of Detroit basketball. And on the other side for the Los Angeles Clippers, many people believe they were going to win the series against the Denver Nuggets anyway. Then Kawhi Leonard had that kind of performance in Game 2. 39 points, 15 and 19 shooting from the field. He was clearly the best player on the floor. That included a bucket getter like Jamal Murray and a 3-time MVP when it comes to Nikola Jokic. But it's a little bit of reckoning time. The Clippers, for the first time in more than a recent memory, people look at them and say they are legit enough to get out of the West, even with Oklahoma City over there. For the New York Knicks, if you still want to be regarded as legitimate, you can't lose Game 3 tonight in Detroit to the up-and-coming Pistons. For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman of ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry.
You're listening to the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Minus 196, real fruit frozen at minus 196 degrees Celsius. Crushed and infused into vodka, perfect for draft week in Green Bay. Ultimate refreshment starts here. Please drink responsibly.
Wisconsinly.
Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, here with you till 6 o'clock. It's a great day to be a Packer fan. Matthew Golden drafted by the Green Bay Packers with the 23rd selection. And at the end of the day, this offense is really, really good and has a chance to be great, right? Like, they have a chance to be great. And I've now shifted my mindset to defense, right? I think it's cornerback, it's edge, it's D lineman. I think you might get a lot of offensive linemen in the later rounds because that's where you can find, like, that's what the Packers do. They find the value, they put them in the system. You already have guys in place. But I do want to hear from Mark Murphy because this was absolutely electric. I think he's a showman. I don't know what you think of him as an owner, but he should have emceed the whole thing. If Roger Goodell didn't make a single pick and we had Mark Murphy up there, it would have been amazing. Give me Mark Murphy announcing Matthew Golden.
With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver, Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas.
Oh, I love the roar from the crowd. He got everybody hyped, boy. Go, Pack, go!
I mean, it was so good because...
Go, Pack, go! That was awesome.
It was the best setup ever because we still didn't know. Everyone thought it was going to be Golden, right? But if you're in the crowd, right, you don't have cell service, you don't know what's going on, but you do know the statistic that we can retire. Since 2002 was Javon Walker, the last time they drafted a wide receiver in the first round. I thought that was absolutely electric. It was Mark Murphy's idea to build this area around Green Bay that we're at right now, where it looks absolutely amazing on TV. I don't care. I don't care. If you didn't want to come from LA, if you didn't want to come from New York, if you didn't want to come from Florida, if you didn't want to get to Green Bay, I don't care. You know why? Because the state of Wisconsin showed out again. It was 80 to 90% green and gold in that area, and you can hear it in that roar. That roar is not like... It's not a small roar.
That was a rock star roar.
You're
at a concert.
You're at an amphitheater, and they hit the main chorus,
yeah.
and you're just like, hey, powerful. Let's go, Mark.
That's exactly what it was. Listen, Mark Murphy, though we give him a lot of, gruff, at the end of the day, Mark Murphy, his legacy was cemented yesterday, and he put a period because look what he did. He was able to bring this here. He got a championship here. Though we didn't win enough championships, he still really did a lot of great renovations. He built up around the Lambeau Field. So yesterday was just his last big shining moment, and he shined. He really did. He knew exactly what to do. He knew exactly what the moment was.
Teased the crowd, gave the pick.
And it was honestly, it was perfect. It was so perfect. Listening to that again just got me so excited, and I knew exactly what was going to happen. Just the roar of the crowd, Ben.
The one thing I was really excited about from the draft being in Green Bay was the opportunity that not only was the draft in Green Bay, but with where this Packers team is at, if they are able to have a legacy draft, right? Yeah. And if Matthew Golden becomes one of those guys that you look back and say, you had 2 Hall of Famers that you've drafted in the first round. You've drafted 4 total. You've now drafted 5 total wide receivers in the first round, 2 of which are Hall of Famers. I'm not saying he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but if you can get Matthew Golden, if you can have a great day 2, and you're talking about a team that's won 9 games and 11 games the last 2 years, they've now passed that youth excuse, even though they're going to be young by age again. But it's a year of Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur having all the pieces needed to be successful on offense. You invested in Jeff Hafley to have a great defense. You figured out the kicker situation with Brandon McManus. They have a team in which you go into the season feeling confident with hope that they can show you that they belong as a championship caliber team.
Yeah.
I don't think we can say they're a championship caliber team until we see it consistently on the football field.
Yeah.
But they've given you reason to have hope that you can see that develop, right?
No, people prognosticate based off what they believe the team is going to be. And this is why I was so upset having a conversation about offensive alignment. I was irate having that conversation, not because I don't want to make sure we fortify the trenches. No, I understand the importance of that. I know what is to come. But for me, the Green Bay Packers needed to swing big at a position of need, and I was hoping it was going to be wide receiver, but I didn't get my hopes completely up because I know how Goody operates.
And as the board was falling, there was a lot of cornerbacks. There was a lot of guys that were in positions of need.
The board fell perfectly for the Green Bay Packers.
That we knew they were going to make a selection, then they weren't going to trade back because there was guys that you likely thought that fit what they needed and didn't have to trade back and try and get more picks. It was like they're going to get a guy that you think will fit what they're trying to accomplish moving forward.
Yeah, and so for me overall, when I look at this, is the Green Bay Packers got a guy that they needed, right? They got a guy that they needed, but who's going to excel? When I look at the offensive line, right, and I look at the development of this football team, now the Packers can now build up the roster. They can truly build up the roster because, as Goody said going into the NFL draft, he felt confident going into the season this year. For me, now drafting Matthew Golden, do I feel confident that this team can win the championship? No, because I got to see who Matthew Golden is. But we have one less hole, I believe, we have to fill. And then when we look at this defensive line, we need to help on that defensive line. But then again, he was able to figure out a way. When I say Jeff Haslett was able to figure out a way to create some type of pressure.
That's not sustainable.
You say it's not sustainable, but I think it is. It's not ideal. But I think it's
if it's not ideal, it's not sustainable to win a championship.
And so because you might run into an issue where you need a dog, right? You need that alpha dog to come in there and make a big play, and hopefully they draft somebody today. But when I look at this Green Bay Packer football team, you're going to get a healthy Edgerrin, well, hopefully healthy. You get an Edgerrin Cooper for a full season, a guy who now has more confidence because he's been in the league. Hopefully you get a healthy Quay Walker, Jason Wilde, who joins us a lot, who talks about the fact that, hey, Quay Walker was starting to turn a corner before he got hurt. So overall, when I look at this football team, they're not championship caliber yet, but I believe
cornerbacks and defensive line, man, they got to go heavy, and they got to find offensive line depth. Everywhere else, I feel really good about
you
where
got
this
7
team is
picks
projected.
to figure it out. All you got to do is find 2 more guys. You find a D lineman who can rush the passer, or you find a defensive tackle that can help stuff the run and generate pressure inside, or a corner on the outside that you can put out there and you believe he can be a guy. You're ready. The Packers be ready to compete. Find us our Cooper regime.
That's going to be tough. This draft isn't as deep as last year, but I think your point that I want to go further on there is if you are able to create competition at those positions that you have needs, it's the same way of the wide receiver group. If they can elevate each other, right, you're gonna need it.
There's pass rushers. The D line is deep in this draft. There's pass rushers the Packers can get. I expect the Packers to draft a pass rusher in the second round because there's a group of probably 4 or 5 guys that are going to be available that I believe that can help and contribute to this football team at the level that we've already seen. So I feel really good about how this board's going to shake out. So unless there's a run on edge rushers and a run on cornerbacks, I feel really good about what the Packers are going to get on day 2.
This has got me thinking about fun times in Wisconsin, and one of the best times in Wisconsin, they got rid of somebody that was holding them back in 2014, and then the 2015 team had an unbelievable year, and that was make 'em believe, but we're doing made 'em believe, and that's going to be a live event on June 26th at the Orpheum. Get your tickets at uwhoops2015.com. That is uwhoops2015.com. Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker, Josh Gosser, Bo Ryan, a whole lot more in store for you at a live event, a 10-year reunion of that 2015 National Championship runner-up team. uwhoops2015.com to get your tickets. You know what, Chris? Play us out with my man Mark Murphy. Gosh, I love it. Enjoy this, people. This could be a moment that we will remember forever. The day the draft is in Green Bay.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver, Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
King of the Castle.
Go, Pat, go! Come on, KBN Nation. Go, Pat, go!
More coming up next on the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kessler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad, "I'm Richard Kessler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that.
Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kessler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue, Menominee Falls.
Inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that.
Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kessler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Draft week is here, and whether you're watching every pick or just there for the party, Higher Love has everything you need to elevate your draft experience. As the best in the Midwest, Higher Love offers the largest selection of organic, clean, green, certified products at unbeatable value, making them the can't-miss top pick. Higher Love Menominee, just an hour from Green Bay, right across the Wisconsin border. Find them at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials. Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
This is the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee is known for its endless ways to win. And on Friday, June 27th, Potawatomi is showing why that's the standard with the highly anticipated season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from the Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty roll into drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is up for grabs. Be there and win your share June 27th, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 years or older to play. Kyle, where does your happiness meter at?
About Matthew Golden, I'm on cloud 1,000. I mean, I really am. I mean, the Packers drafted a wide receiver. It's not that they just drafted a wide receiver. Y'all know what I said before. They could have drafted a guy. If I didn't like the guy, I was going to be indifferent about it. I was.
You're going to be like, now I really have to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. But this is different. And I said it before. Like, no, me and you, we are not NFL scouts. We don't watch thousands and thousands of hours of film all the time. But most of us know what good football looks like, and we know Matthew Golden. We can't predict that he's going to be a stud. But what we can say is that he has potential to be a stud. When you have comparisons to being like a Jalen Waddle or a Tyreek Hill, when people are putting you in that same breath in that same sentence, that means that you have a lot of potential, but that also means the film that you put on the feeling that you put on the field, that is something that contributes to everybody being hyped up about you. So for me right now, I'm extremely excited for the prospect of how good he's going to be, but more importantly, what this offense can be. We have to understand that our boy Matt LaFleur, he knows how to cook up an offense, and now we just gave him another weapon for him to be able to utilize. But more importantly, we gave Jordan Love another guy. We want Jordan Love to elevate himself this year. Well, you know what? Goody got him a guy to help him elevate. So that's why I'm extremely on cloud 1,000 right now. Even though it's raining, I feel sunshine through my soul. I'm living my life like it's golden. You know that song?
I don't.
Living my life like it's golden. 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 Living my life like it's golden.
I mean, it's a wonderful name to be a Green Bay Packer. Matthew Golden, green and gold. Like, there's so much. If he's really good, he has an unbelievable chance to really be a fan favorite.
He's already tweeting out cheese.
Yeah, of course. Like, he just plays the crowd. And I love it on YouTube. I get good vibe chills every time I hear that Mark Murphy clip. And that's the one thing, is no matter what you think of Mark Murphy, him announcing Matthew Golden was an unbelievable moment for every Green Bay Packer fan.
Yeah.
The draft is in Green Bay. They bucked the 2002 trend. He can make an immediate impact for this team, and there's still a long way to go in the NFL draft. Kyle Bruston-Ortman across ESPN Wisconsin extended. We found out in the middle of the show, and we're happy to be here. Till 6 o'clock. It's raining like crazy, and the
rain stops at 6, so I guess,
Nice little tent here. We got ponchos.
Do we have ponchos? Wait a minute. Didn't nobody give me no poncho?
You got to read the playbook, man. Got to read the playbook. Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, no Brad Nortman. We're back in 2 minutes. Jason Wilde is going to join us. We got Carrington Valentine right here at our houses, getting some information to the great folks at our tailgate.
CV, baby. I'm a big fan of CV.
I put in a request. I said, and he's done. Let me slide him over here.
Listen,
he's been hanging out with dorky Alex Strofe. He needs to hang with some real dudes.
Listen, Carrington Valentine, big fan of his when he was coming out of Kentucky and we drafted him 7th round. Thought he had potential. He's really lived up to that. So, I mean, again, I don't think he's CB number 1, but for the Green Bay Packers, I love the way he competes. Even his rookie year, he competed, and I love it.
And that's why you have to be feeling like, hey, you got a guy late in the 7th round that contributed, but I do still feel there is a need for corner for this team with the 99.5%, as Rob Domofsky said, the chance that Jair Alexander will not be a Packer. A whole lot more to dive into. It's a great day to be alive. I've said it to start the show. I feel like I've said it more than ever before because this is a new feeling on day 1 of the NFL draft to day 2 reacting to day 1. We're back in 2 minutes.
Northbound on 41, backing up now from Watertown Plank Road all the way up past an accident that's just north of North Avenue on the right shoulder. Delays continue all the way up past Capitol Drive to Hampton. On the southbound side, backups from just before Highway 145 all the way down to about Silver Spring. Northbound 43, backing up from Kilbourne up to Keefe. Southbound is going to be a bit tight right around that North Avenue curve down through the Marquette and over the high rise. And we're seeing some delays along the bypass. Southbound from just south of Beloit Road down and around the Hale interchange onto 894 eastbound all the way to about Forest Home. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Decreasing clouds, breezy with the low of 39. Tomorrow, few clouds, then mostly sunny, a high of 50 at the lake, 57 inland. Weather is brought to you by Higher Love Cannabis Company. Draft fans, score big at Higher Love in Menominee. Get 25% off in-store or online with code ESPN Draft. Hurry, offer ends April 28th. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD today. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the Crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
Hey friends, celebrate draft week with the first round flavor of El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of game day. Break out the Bandito Thursday pre-draft tailgate at 880 Stadium Drive and then head to Black Saddle at 7 p.m. for the first round watch party. Friday, the criminally smooth picks keep rolling with drink specials at Cock and Bull and Prohibition Spirits Cigar Lounge for rounds 2 and 3. Stock up for all your draft days with the award-winning all-natural Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo. Break out the Bandito today at your local Hy-Vee and Woodman's locations. Learn more at elbanditoyankee.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the NFL selects Green Bay, Wisconsin.
This is the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance.
Every single last one of us has spent hours and hours and hours and hours watching football, watching draft stuff. So for Goody to think that he knows more than everybody else, it has not been proven to be true on day one.
Because I truly believe that all the hype around the wide receivers is going to be something that we're not even going to be able to get excited for.
Now broadcasting live from outside the shadow of Lambeau Field,
Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
Here's Kyle Wallace and Ben Brust.
You want to do it, Kyle?
It's the 414 hour at 4 from
Lambeau
for the NFL Draft, baby.
Hey. We are across ESPN Wisconsin, so we love having ESPN Madison as well as 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam with us in the 414 hour at 4. But it's the state of Wisconsin hour at 4 right now. I mean, look, we're joined by Tori Lowe, T-Low T, normally on a Tuesday. Tori Lowe, Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust at Lambeau. The energy is palpable. It's powerful.
Hey, it's powerful. I can feel the energy right now.
Where were you when the Green Bay Packers selected Matthew Golden?
You know what? I'm going to tell you this. I was at the 3rd Street Market Hall, and I was dealing with a situation. Got it done, tried to get up there to the Market Hall. They closed at 9, so I had to go on YouTube to see it. And I was like, wow, we got a great, speedy wide receiver. You know I'm a defensive guy.
You are. Linebacker.
I'm an edge guy right now. But like I said, we got the fastest wide receiver in the draft.
Yeah, so I know you're a defensive guy.
Right.
Adam Schefter was here in person. I got to listen to a little bit of what he had to say to some of our fans. And Goody really wanted Derek Harmon. Derek Harmon, I'm sorry, I blanked. And the Pittsburgh Steelers grabbed him at 21. And that was a need. Whether it be interior because of Kenny Clark, are you going to move on from him?
Right.
They signed a 3rd contract. They can likely get out of it after next year. Edge, obviously we know they've made investments in Rashawn Gary with a 1st-round pick and then an extension. You have Lucas Van Ness that they picked 13th.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean you still shouldn't be trying to load up on one of the most important positions in football in edge. And Kyle would be here to be your guy to tell you why you should be confident that there still is players out there in day 2 to solidify adding more pieces and more opportunity for guys to have great seasons.
Yeah, right now, I can't believe how perfect the NFL draft board has shaken out for the Green Bay Packers based off of needs, right? And one thing that we didn't see a lot yesterday, you saw some, but you didn't see a lot of edge guys that were taken. So there's still some really good edge guys available for the Packers. I would say probably at least 4 good edge guys for the Packers to draft potentially here in the 2nd round. And then there's also 4 top corners as well for the Green Bay Packers to draft potentially in the 2nd round. So you're talking about 8 guys that I believe are worthy of a 2nd round pick from the Green Bay Packers. Even a guy that I know you love from the cornerback Will Johnson from Michigan, who sounds like there was a knee issue that may have come
correct.
up.
Something came up, not hamstring, knee, turf toe, too many things, and there's a reason why he fell.
He fell in the draft, but overall, now you're not talking about 1st round. 2nd round is very, very important. But the 2nd round is where if a guy has head, shoulders, knees and toes as injuries, you're willing to maybe take that risk because of the fact that he could end up being that guy that was a 1st round projected kid going into this year. So overall, T-Low, defense is what we're going to be looking for, and defense we should be able to get in this second or third round.
Of course. I mean, and like I said, it was a couple good guys out of Ohio State that I like that played pretty hard.
Yo, boy, Ben, have you heard this kid? You probably watch. If you watch any Wisconsin Ohio State game, JT Tuamoloa.
Yeah, I like him.
Tuamoloa, I think that's how you say it. He good.
I think he could be there for us if we looking that way.
Me and Tori were walking today, and we were talking about who we want on the edge, and we both had the same guy in mind.
Hey,
at this point, I think you just need somebody that I just don't. I want to see the trend continue of the production in college to translate in the NFL with the skill set of having NFL talent.
This kid, I'm telling you, the guys that are on the Shamar Stewart go
that was the blessing in disguise. Everyone took a sigh of relief. The 1.5 sack guy who fits all the measurables. We've done it. When he was picked, everybody around us was like cheering. They were cheering because that's a Goody type guy.
Listen, I know we're going deep into the weeds, but we got time, we got hours. Mike Green, guy from Marshall, 17 sacks last year. That's called production. I can't say Donovan last name, but I know Donovan, the guy that Strofe was talking about that played from Boston College.
Jeff Hafley with the relationship.
Jeff Hafley as well last year. He's a guy that had multi-digit number of sacks, right? Another guy from Oregon. Again, he had 8.5 sacks. These are guys
so you got some production.
Who are production, Ohio State kids. So now we're getting guys who...
Don't give me Marshall, though. I don't want Marshall. I don't care. I don't care.
But Bud Dupree, and then also old boy who played for the Chargers. That's really Khalil Mack, Buffalo guys, right? So don't discount the fact that some of these.
Where was Khalil Mack drafted?
He was drafted high. He was drafted extremely high. Bud Dupree was drafted in the 20s. But I'm telling you, that Mike Green was a guy that might have been projected for the first round. But all I'm saying is this: productivity. That's what we're looking for, and that right now on the edge is what you're going to get. So I'm very excited about where the Green Bay Packers are at. Man, why is Scalzo cheesing like this? Scalzo just came cheesing.
It's coming around. I call him Permagrin. Greg Scalzo, market manager of Good Karma Brands. Permagrin is around having a great time. He loves the NFL. We're in football weather. It doesn't get any better.
Football weather in April, what the hell?
Don chimes in on the Carbless Talking text line. If this was Goody's plan all along to skip free agency to get a first-round wide receiver, I can rest any doubts on his desire to build a championship-caliber roster. He just wants to build it his way. I don't think you can give him credit, no doubt. He still made the pick. But he would have gone a different direction if Derek Harmon was still available.
Right.
I can't say that for certainty, but all of the trends of how he picks and the way that they were linked to defensive tackle.
They were going to go DT. Listen, if Derek Harmon was Goody's guy and Matthew Golden was LaFleur's guy, who's the general manager?
Goody.
Exactly. Just like Greg is our market manager. If we have a lot of decisions that we want to make, and let's just say Greg wanted something and somebody else wants something else who's not on Greg's level, who you think Greg going to go with?
Greg.
Exactly. Greg going to go with Greg.
Exactly.
And so LaFleur understands that, right? And that's why LaFleur, again, y'all, the video was fantastic. LaFleur was amped up yesterday because he finally got a wide receiver, and he was so excited because that was his guy.
And Chris Larson, I would love to play the audio from Alex Strofe. It was like a 12-second clip, I believe. He asked Ted McMillan and Matthew Golden the exact same question. Asked him what it would like to be a Green Bay Packer. And the answers were different, but to get the guy whose answer that really hyped me up, gosh, I want to. Let me know if you got it, Chris. I don't know if you could. He can talk on air.
He could talk on air for sure.
Yeah, Chris, we got it. All right, let's hear from Alex Strofe and Matthew Golden.
I know you've been asked this a few times already, and you'll be asked a few more times. It's not your first time in Green Bay. You took a top 30 visit with the Packers. What's it like being back, and how was that?
Yeah, definitely feel like home. Somewhere I can see myself. Any organization that's getting me, you definitely getting a true dog, a true competitor. Somebody that got a chip on their shoulder, like they got something to prove. So, just like I said, just getting the opportunity to go to the NFL, man, that's all it's about. And whatever opportunity I do get, I'm gonna make the most of it.
There it is. There it is. The audio of Alex Strofe before the draft, right? This isn't like an after the draft thing. He handles his business with like, hey, If you give him an opportunity, you're getting a dog.
Tori, did you hear that?
Yeah.
He said, this feels like home, but also I got a chip on my shoulder, but you're going to get somebody as a dog. Listen, we played that before.
I love the attitude.
Tori, we played that clip before, and I love Ted McMillan. And they kind of teased me because even when I heard that I had to act like I didn't love, like I loved it, but I still wanted Ted. They say, who would you rather have? I said, I want Ted, which I would have.
Right.
But Matthew Golden, you got to love that.
Let me tell you something.
T-Law.
I'm going to tell you
competitor.
this. Remember when we was talking in studio, and I said, if we get a wide receiver, he's going to have to stretch the field for me to feel comfortable.
And he can do a lot more than just stretch the field.
And he can do a lot more than that. So I think that I wasn't really looking at wide receivers. I didn't see any real game changers at 23. But when you get the fastest wide receiver in the combine, a 4.28.
See, I don't even like.
I like to stretch the field because we got a lot of mid.
Here, Tori, you're saying everything that is correct about the speed and stretching the field, but the opportunity that you have with somebody who played with those metrics and had production at one of the best schools of football.
Right.
I'm not saying Texas.
Texas this year was one of the more. Oregon and Texas were two of the top teams all throughout. Texas moved from the Big 12 to the SEC, and they were able to thrive and still be the top team dang near the SEC.
And every time I looked when Texas needed a big play, I was like, oh, there's Golden again. You know, look at that. He's making a play.
He's making big plays.
He made big plays. He had the numbers in the combine. People had him higher up. Again, everyone's needs are different as you go throughout the draft, and it just so happened the same day that the Green Bay Packers were hosting the draft, the right guy for who would fit what they're trying to build with the team was Matthew Golden.
I agree. And like I said, I was never big on – I didn't see the difference maker, but I did see that Golden did have shades of being a playmaker.
I think he can be a difference maker. The thing why I was never on the Matthew Golden train is because I didn't think he was going to be there. Right? I didn't think Matthew Golden was going to be there, so it was a shock. But again, the thing that really makes me so excited, and I think for Packers fans, is the fact that he fell in the Packers' grasp.
Right.
Like again,
no reaching, no athleticism. Like in terms of like we're taking a guy just because we think we can turn him into something. It felt like, I don't know. It's just like
the stars aligned and Goody could not deny it. Mark Murphy said, "Hey, like Goody, this is a perfect time for me to tell a joke. I got a joke when I get out there."
It was almost like they were sitting in the draft room and like their number one. They had like plan A, because you need 18 plans. Matt LaFleur and Jason Wilde had a conversation yesterday at our houses, and Jason asked him about Ted McMillan. Yeah. He goes, yeah, but what if he's gone? Then he asked him about Shamar Stewart. Yeah, but what if he's gone? And it just opened up the eyes of what it takes to actually have a draft go your way. Mm-hmm. But they had to have had Matthew Golden on their list.
He was on the board.
That as it kept playing, like it had to be a very less stressful draft than drafts in past years because of the players that were being taken weren't guys that were like they weren't going at the top of the board saying, "Oh no, he's gone, he's gone." They didn't have to panic.
I can tell you right now, the Green Bay Packers listen. When they looked at their board, when you're talking about offensive lineman, Greg Zabel, he was a guy that was high. You know, the Green Bay Packers probably were interested in him. But then on top of that, Matthew Golden was a guy they obviously wanted. We came out, Derek Carr was a guy that they wanted, and they had cornerbacks that they wanted. So knowing that the Green Bay Packers were able to see a board of need, but also talent on the board, not really fly off like that for the Green Bay Packers, it worked out.
I think we're happy. I think this is the one time
if you're not happy,
where I see where Green Bay fans, everybody's happy with this.
It's 90,
even if they thought
90 to 95% of people are happy.
Right.
You're never going to make everyone happy, but as long as you have that big of a majority, then
it's a great pick.
No, it's not even that the fans make it a great pick. The fans, the organization, like everyone is aligned with this.
Listen, the analysts, everybody, Mel Kiper, everybody, Todd McShay,
right.
Everybody,
Matt Miller.
Listen, everybody who is the who's who of doing the watching the film and scouting, who's on a professional level, who gets paid lots of money to do this, everybody looked at this guy and thought he was good. It's a consensus.
ESPN 1000, our guys from Chicago who joined us said the same thing. Like they're like, oh wow, you guys got to be thrilled that Golden fell to you.
Yeah, and I haven't heard a critic say anything negative at all.
That is perfect.
And he's a dog. Tori, we appreciate the time, but I got to tell people how to elevate their draft experience even higher than they're feeling right now, because you can go to Higher Love in Menominee, just over the border, less than an hour from where we're sitting. Tori. Less than an hour. Find higherlove.com/CBD. Less than an hour.
T-Lo, you trying to make a trip?
Wait a minute. I'm saying bring me a Higher Love.
How about this? 25% off, redeemable in-store and online at Menominee's location just over the border. ESPN Draft. Use ESPN Draft. It's active now through April 28th. You will get 25% off. Higher Love is the only UP cultivator offering organic, clean, green, certified products. So you can only get that good stuff, none of the bad stuff. So you know how to elevate this draft high that Kyle's on, that I'm on even further.
Hey, it sounded powerful.
25% off ESPN Draft. Higher Love in Menominee. Kyle Bruston-Ortman continues next with Jason Wilde, scheduled to appear in a little bit. Thanks, Tori.
More coming up next on the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance.
Northbound on 43, we have a crash in the center, actually the two right lanes blocked right at the ramp from Locust. So just be careful with that. It's big delays out of the Marquette all the way up past that point. Southbound side, folks slowing down and take a look at what's going on. So we got delays from Capitol Drive down to Locust, and then back on the brakes from just before Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high rise. Eastbound 94 got some backups from just before 84th Street to 35th. Westbound tightens up right through the Stadium interchange, back on the brakes from Highway 100 into Waukesha County to about Elm Grove Road. We do have another crash. This is on 894 on the ramp from 84th Street to westbound 894. Watch out for that. And the other one still up on the board, northbound on 41 right at North Avenue off on the right shoulder. Access believes every home and business should be accessible to everyone. Independence should never be out of reach. Visit allaboutaccess.com to learn more. Access, removing barriers, advancing independence. And check in the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Decreasing clouds, breezy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, few clouds, then mostly sunny, a high of 50 at the lake, 57 inland. Weather is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof, siding, and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Oh, can't show you in there.
Why not?
That's the bathroom. We need a new shower bad.
Think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin? Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Luxstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contests.
Drum roll, please.
Carbliss is here with refreshing new flavors. Introducing their Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Let the summertime flavors of blood orange, watermelon, raspberry, and grapefruit whisk you away from the winter blues. New flavors, same great Carbliss perks. Every handcrafted cocktail still has 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and just 100 calories. Find the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack in store wherever Carbliss is sold and enjoy your winter passport to paradise. Grab a pack today and discover why Bliss is more with Carbliss.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at schneiderjobs.com. That's schneiderjobs.com.
Bev Anderson has a big idea she wants to share.
Bev has been here for 24 years.
Hi, Bev. We're anxious to hear your idea.
Kessler's is 45 years old this year. Monica, remember when your dad used to say in every radio ad, "I'm Richard Kessler, and I want to be your jeweler"?
I never got to hear that.
Yeah, and then Rick would say,
Kessler's Diamonds, inconveniently located on Appleton Avenue in Menominee Falls.
Inconveniently?
Richard said it was inconvenient for people to have to drive all the way to Menominee Falls, so he might as well admit it.
Bev, tell us your idea.
Richard said something else in almost every ad, and I think we should start saying it again because it's really important.
Tell us.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
I love that.
Fantastic idea, Bev.
Kessler's Diamonds.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from enchanted spins, unreal treasures, and boundless bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
You're listening to the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I'm living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden.
Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, no Super Bowl 50 runner-up Brad Nortman. But we replaced him with someone who actually plays on the field because Brad was a punter. Man, what do you think? What do you think of the specialists on Green Bay? They live the life.
I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. They valuable in the NFL, though.
Yeah, that's good.
They valuable.
Oh, you know. I mean, you know.
I know.
The voice you hear is Carrington Valentine. He is a Green Bay Packer. He is a 7th-round pick turned starter. I was listening to you with some of our folks, and it was awesome, man, because you were like, hey, I'll get into it, but I don't stop. And is that a mentality that you've been able to bring everyone into, or was the rest of the roster on the defense like that?
Yeah, like us as as a team, we're dogs, so like we don't keep going, like we're gritty. So we try to go out there and just keep going, and like even those are dogs fight, we just know not to roll over for real. So yeah.
Yeah, when we look at this Green Bay Packer football team, I mean, this is you going into year 3, but first year under Jeff Hafley, you saw that defense improve, that you played in improve. What should we expect year 2 under Jeff Hafley's defense?
Really just take that next step, and that was year 1, and we did that. And now we all, we know each other. We same D coordinator, same defense. So now it's just really finding the details and things like that, just to really take that next step to being the number 1 defense in the league.
I love that.
Yeah, and we've been the last 20 years the Green Bay Packers have been king of the NFC North. Is it something where you guys think about it, or do you go day by day, or do you have that goal like we need to take back the North from Detroit?
I mean, obviously, obviously it starts day by day, but the ultimate goal is to win the North, and then you win the North, obviously the next goal is to win the Super Bowl. So
yeah, because the way I think about it, right, the way that the team from 9 wins to 11 wins, it's a tough draw. You have to win 4 games on the road, or essentially a neutral site in the Super Bowl. If you put yourself in that position in the season to get a higher seed, play here at Lambeau Field, what would it mean for you to play a game in front of these fans in the playoffs?
It'd be big. You know what I mean? Big to me, big to Green Bay. I mean, people don't want to come to Lambeau when it's super cold.
Have you embraced it?
Yeah, you know what I mean. I love, at this point, I love when it's cold. Like,
do you have some wide receivers that are like?
I mean, our receivers love when it's cold. We're used to this. Obviously, like I said, when it's late December, January, they don't want to come to Lambeau.
I love to hear that. Now, everybody kind of hearing the news about Jair Alexander maybe moving on, maybe coming back. But if Jair Alexander does move on, why should everybody be confident that you, CV, Carrington Valentine, will be able to step up and assume that leadership role and on the field?
I mean, yeah, Josh's situation, is Josh's situation.
Of course.
Whatever happens with Josh, is his business. I mean, with me, I'm going to year 3. Every year I've took a step. And this year, I have my goals in year 3 to, be complete. Go out there and really show what I got. Show Green Bay, really who I am for real. I mean, I feel like the first 2 years I was just scratching the surface. And year 3 is the year that I just want to show no, I'm ready.
And we know you're on a tight timeline. So last one before let you go. Do you love that you get to face great competition in the
100%.
NFC North? I mean, you got dudes across lined up.
Like, and that's
you embrace it?
Yeah, I love our division just off the strength of that alone.
Really? I love that dog mentality.
Yeah, I love our division. We have dudes, obviously Minnesota, now in Chicago, in Detroit.
Amon-Ra Jameson.
Yeah.
You got Jordan Addison, Justin, DJ Moore, Rome.
And like, why? And this would be the perfect spot. Like, why? I wouldn't want to go anywhere else.
Wouldn't want to be anywhere else, and that's all we want to hear. We appreciate the time, man. I know you spent a lot of time with us up there. Thank you for joining us here on ESPN Wisconsin. That's Carrington Valentine. I feel like I want to get out there, even though I'm not strong. I have a dad bod now, but he's got me motivated to lift some weights and go have that dog in me again.
Listen, I love seeing him play because I love the swagger you play with, right? You don't back down.
Don't lose it.
That's the mentality that we need, because if this defense is going to be number one, we got to have that swagger. Going from a 7th-round pick to a starter in the NFL.
Just scratching the surface, as he said. That's Carrington Valentine, everybody. We appreciate Carrington. Enjoy the rest of the week here in Green Bay. We appreciate you. Kyle Bruston-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. We'll get a quick picture with him, and then we get Jason Wilde. What do you think of Jason Wilde?
Jason.
You don't have to say reporter. Hey, no, that's perfect. I'll be like, Jason, he doesn't like you. All right, Kyle Bruston-Nortman continues next.
We're back after this on the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance.
Down on 41, delays from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to about Hampton. We've got northbound 43 with an accident at Locust that's basically backed up all the way back through the Marquette up past Locust. The 2 right lanes are blocked, by the way, because of this accident. And then we've got delays from about National Avenue down and around the Hale interchange all the way to Forest Home. Traffic is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight. Decreasing clouds, breezy with a low of 39. Tomorrow, few clouds, then mostly sunny, a high of 50 at the lake, 57 inland. Weather is brought to you by Higher Love Cannabis Company. Draft fans, score big at Higher Love in Menominee. Get 25% off in-store or online with code ESPN Draft. Hurry, offer ends April 28th. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD today. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
I-94 Rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at brewers.com.
Have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins yet? Because if you haven't, you're missing out on technology that changes how you think about shoes. First, these are not just regular slip-on shoes. They're not just a pair of loafers without laces. But what makes them different is the technology inside that lets you just step into them. There's a built-in hidden shoehorn that slides your foot in, so they look, feel, and wear just like a pair of shoes you're used to. Except you don't have to bend down, struggle to put them on, or touch them. Try them at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
It's Macy's Friends and Family Sale. Hurry in for insider deals on must-have spring styles from your favorite brands, like an extra 30% off new dresses, handbags, and accessories from Karl Lagerfeld Paris, Donna Karan New York, Avec La Vie, and more. Plus, get 15% off fragrances, beauty, and skincare, too. It's not only the best time to shop for yourself, it's also the best time to shop early for Mother's Day. Don't miss Friends and Family starting tomorrow at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Kevin Morat, Mentality founder here with a wake-up call. You're running on fumes, gentlemen. Just 1/3 of the free testosterone you need. That's why you're drained, defeated, and disgusted with your progress. But here's the truth. Mentality doctors specialize in epic comebacks. Our clients show an increase of 30% testosterone levels within the first month. We don't just treat men, we reignite lives. Just imagine the focus, energy, and drive being restored. Your comeback starts now. Don't wait. Make this your best year yet. Start today at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Don't miss a second of the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance. Download the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app today and stay on top of it all.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. The Wolf of Wall Street was on the other day when I was flipping through channel. Great family film.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
I'm a naturally inquisitive person.
Holding everybody accountable.
If you feel better about that, I'm happy to do so.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle Bruston Norton.
Right in the shadow of Lambeau Field at the Tundra Trio, it's Kyle Bruston Nortman till 6 o'clock. No Nortman, Kyle Wallace, Ben Bruston. Joined now right after Carrington Valentine is none other than Jason Wilde off a TV hit with Channel 3000. Writes for them, does TV for Channel 3 in Madison. It's the man of many talents.
Not as many talents as Carrington Valentine, though.
Hey, we really enjoyed
that
conversation.
He's a flyer, he's a special teams guy, he's a corner, and I don't say this as well as like Kyle says it, and he's a dog.
Oh, I like that. I know you when you said it, you mean it. The way you
I do. I'm trying to be cool.
You said it, and I knew you were saying it as DAWG.
Yeah, that's how I spell it when I write it too.
Yeah, so like if
to make sure it's clear.
Very clear, right?
Yeah.
Yes, very, very clear. I think what's most impressive about him is as a 7th-round pick, he takes the challenge and he says, I love the cold weather. I love looking across and seeing guys, and they don't like it. Like, he's embraced the mentality you need to have to be successful here in Green Bay.
Yeah, and, he dealt with some injuries last year that I think kept kind of having him go in fits and starts for his season. For him to do what he did as a rookie 7th-round pick, I hate to put him in this category, but, I spend every day, at least from 9 to noon, with a guy who started as a rookie 7th-round pick. That ain't easy. Mm-hmm. And with Jair's issues in 2023, for Carrington to come in, we used to joke about the law firm of Valentine and Ballantyne.
We sure did.
Correct.
But it was, Ballantyne is not as good of a player. Mm-hmm. And I look at what CV, that's what they call him, CV, was able to do, and it is darn impressive. And then to follow it up, because once he got healthy last season, I think I've heard Matt LaFleur, he's talked about it. I mean, Matt LaFleur loves that guy.
I see why. See why. I mean, talking about it, when he talked about he loves playing in the NFC North because of all the great wide receivers, listen, if you're afraid or you nervous,
it's not going to work.
Yeah, I wouldn't want. If you had me on and I was a corner, I'd be like, well, I really like playing in the AFC South because there aren't any good wide receivers in that group at all, so it's a good matchup for me.
Yeah, it'd be a little easier. But no, I love the fact that a 7th-round pick like himself is itching at the opportunity to go against the top dogs.
And let's start with the news from yesterday. I mean, the showman Mark Murphy, I thought was amazing. I actually say what you want. Say what you want about him. It was electric. I mean,
it was great.
It was really good.
Did you not get to the point where he was talking like, all right, Mark, come on?
No, I'm not gonna lie.
Speed it up.
Listening to it back, it felt shorter than it did when I was watching.
He let
it
breathe, though. I thought he was. Look, he and I have not always seen eye to eye. But I thought he was magnificent. It was a great moment. Thought the way he delivered it, the fact that, and Goody, kudos to Goody, because he had such a great line with us afterward where he says
I heard it.
that I actually sent him a different name, and he just went up there and announced Matthew Golden. And look, Homer thought that might have actually happened, which of course it didn't. But I just thought, that's not And he's gotten emotional a couple times through the course of the week about the idea of this being his last draft and this having been his baby. And so for him to get up there and in the moment, meet the moment, the only person who was better in that moment was Matthew Golden, who I thought was, talk about a guy meeting the moment. And he knew he was in Green Bay, right? So he knows there's a lot of Packers fans here. I don't think that he goes out there thinking, oh my God, there's 205,000 people out there, and like 85% of them are Packers
For sure.
fans.
I think that's one of the coolest things about this draft.
It's been a local draft.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I don't care if you didn't want to come from L.A. or New York or Miami. The way that the capacity was able to fill because of the excitement of it being here, it's another good moment. It reminds me of the way that the Deer District was featured when the Bucks went on that run. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. We'll continue to show as a state the representation and how we, don't care what the outside thinks. We're going to keep on rolling.
And I just love how Golden comes out, and it's obviously a very long, as you can see from watching on TV, incredibly long walk from the green room, which is in the Resch Expo Center, to get to the actual stage. And from the moment he pops out there, he's vocal, yeah, let's go, and he's got his jersey. And then I'm telling you, the great moment, and Tausch was giving me a hard time because he said he thought I was scolding him. I was not. I've never seen a guy grab the microphone at the podium when he's been picked.
I was thinking, was this planned because he was a pick by the Green Bay Packers? Because they're like, he's going to go to the mic, but he's not. But he went to the mic.
I think he did that, and I did not get to ask that in our Zoom call with him. I would like that. I think that was spontaneous.
It had to
He was caught up in the moment. It was so authentic.
He had to wait too, right? All that time,
right? And
he kind of had a Brian Bulaga face of like sigh of relief when he got picked because he probably wanted to get picked earlier.
And that's a great comparison. Obviously, one's an offensive lineman and one's a wide receiver, but they were picked at the same spot, 23. And I was telling Brian this story, or mentioning it, because Brian knows I've told this story before, but when we were on the stage yesterday, and how talking to Ted Thompson after that draft, after the first round that day, and him saying, Jason, I can't believe he was there. I didn't think he'd be there, Jason. And he just kept saying it. And that's because Brian thought he was going 9th to Buffalo. And then when that didn't happen, he's falling. And I'm guessing Matthew Golden thought, you saw Tedero and McMillan go 8th.
Which, by the way, to the Panthers, they're not going defense crazy, but another day.
Right, and then Emeka Ibuka goes 19th to Tampa. So he's the last of the 3 that's there.
Yep.
But I'm guessing he thought he'd go before he did. So to your point about him having kind of that Bulaga-ish moment, Bulaga thought he'd have gone sooner. But that's kind of in my opinion, that's what the Packers need when you're at 23.
Yep.
Correct.
Is for a guy that's not supposed to be there to be there. And listening to Goody talk, I think there were a couple of guys that were there that he liked, that he would have taken.
Derek Harmon is one I heard from Schefter. I'm sure that's a name you heard as well. Who else maybe that you...
So he did not... I don't know who else it would have been, because obviously the corner from Michigan... That's
more
falling.
Injury issues came up even just recent.
There was a Jody Brown, I think his name is, from Texas.
That's another really good corner. And look, he actually was brought up by Goody, not as a guy that he was thinking about, but as a guy that, this is someone that Golden went against in practice every day.
Yeah.
He was big on the whole, and look, that's not like they haven't taken small school guys, and not small, but not Power 4 guys. Christian Watson, Tucker Kraft, who was with us yesterday. That ain't a big school guy. He had a chance to transfer,
went to Bama.
Get a bunch of money. But I think there's now an even greater level of we need to get guys from the Big Ten and the SEC, because that's now where the real big boy football is.
And you mentioned yesterday on stage, or a couple of different times, about the cornerback position. You had an inkling that because of what we just talked about with Carrington Valentine and the belief that they have that Keyshawn Nixon can be, a good starter for this team, that they weren't going to maybe go in this round. How do you see day 2? We are getting closer now. It's 7 o'clock. Then we're turning the page, and it's building depth for a team that has a couple of positions where you have contracts coming up. Wide receiver was one of them with Dobbs and Watson. Offensive lineman, it's still Zach Tom, Sean Ryan, and Rasheed Walker. You have Jordan Morgan, but it's still for the future standpoint.
I think, first of all, I think they have to go defensive line. I think at some point today they're going to go defensive line.
I like that.
And
there's guys available too.
Yeah, there are. And now the question that I have is, do they go corner if there's a guy that falls?
Well, Jason, we appreciate the insight, and we know you're a man of many wants and talents. So wherever you go next, we appreciate the time.
I'm going to talk to our friends at WTMJ. But if you need more quality insight and you can't get any, then I'll come back on with you guys.
Open invite, honestly. We're hanging out till 6 o'clock. Kyle Brust.
I love having Jason in person.
Jason in person is way different than on the phone. Way different. What you pointing at?
Oh, I want a bag of chips. I was going to ask.
Wait, you're in the middle of the segment?
We're going to break. You're teasing to go to break. I was going to get his attention because I wanted to make sure he didn't walk away because I want to give me some chips. I'm hungry.
You can get your legs up.
Well, I mean, I just listen.
Oh, it's because of the. No, you even.
Look at my shoe. My shoes got wet and muddy.
Oh my gosh, Diva Kyle.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a diva today. I'm hungry. Okay, I'm hungry.
All right. Minus 196. Real fruit frozen at minus 196 Celsius. Crushed and infused into vodka. Perfect for draft week in Green Bay. Ultimate refreshment starts here. Please drink responsibly. Kyle Brust-Nortman until 6 o'clock. With that conversation with Jason Wilde, I do want to move it forward to day 2 of the NFL draft because without getting the true insight, he was able to give us a little insight as to why they didn't have to go cornerback in the first round, which sets my mind towards edge and defensive tackle in the second round here.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll move forward there. Kyle Brust-Nortman with you till 6 o'clock, live from Green Bay.
We're back after this on the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance.
Oh, can't show you in there. Why not? That's the bathroom. We need a new shower bad.
Think your shower is one of the ugliest in Wisconsin? Upload your photo by April 30th to goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contest for a chance to win a free shower remodel. One lucky fan will win a free shower remodel from Kohler Services, including design consultation, demolition, and removal of your existing shower or bath, and installation of a brand new Kohler Luxstone shower. goodkarmabrands.com/Wisconsin contests.
Beat the tariffs. This month at Cunis. Get your tariff-free car, truck, or SUV before they're gone. All current in-stock new vehicles are not affected. Plus, take advantage of employee pricing and huge manufacturer discounts on select brands and models. Shop from over 2,800 cars, trucks, and SUVs group-wide from 18 new vehicle brands. Our loan experts will work to get you our best interest rate possible. And our Fresh Start financing program can help you get approved regardless of your credit. Plus, you're covered by our lifetime no-fear powertrain warranty, included with qualified new and pre-owned vehicle purchases. Visit your local Cunis dealership today for your tariff-free vehicle while they last. But don't wait, because once they're gone, they're gone. With over 30 locations across the Midwest, there's sure to be a Cunis location near you. Start your search online at shopcunis.com. That's shopkunes.com.
Attend Biz Expo May 13th at Brookfield Conference Center and the keynote on resilient leadership, thriving in challenging times. Stay for the strategy seminars and connect with customers. Biz Expo is May 13th. Register at biztimes.com/bizexpo.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wildy?
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply and 4/30/2025.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos?
Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Dr. Aaron Holtebeck and his team at Holtebeck Eye Center make vision care a top priority. They are your premium provider for eye care and corrective eye surgeries. Dr. Holtebeck has been helping local patients with their eye care needs for over 20 years. Dr. Nausheen Abbas joined the Holtebeck Eye Center team last September, and her practice philosophy is to provide patient-centered medicine by giving all options. Located in Brookfield near the corner of Calhoun and Capitol. Learn more about their services at holtebeck.com.
Hey friends, celebrate draft week with the first round flavor of El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of game day. Break out the Bandito Thursday pre-draft tailgate at 880 Stadium Drive and then head to Black Saddle at 7 p.m. for the first round watch party. Friday, the criminally smooth picks keep rolling with drink specials at Cock and Bull and Prohibition Spirits Cigar Lounge for rounds 2 and 3. Stock up for all your draft days with the award-winning all-natural Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo. Break out the Bandito today at your local Hy-Vee and Woodman's locations. Learn more at elbanditoyankee.com.
Don't miss a second of the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance. Download the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app today and stay on top of it all.
In the palm of your hand with the new ESPN Wisconsin app. It is available in the Apple and Android stores. Look, it's so convenient. I got the AirPods in. I'm doing yard work. I'm listening back to all of our shows. I'm listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy in the morning. They go to commercial. I go right to 100.5 ESPN. I got my guys and gal unsportsmanlike in the mornings across ESPN Radio. It's all the palm of your hand, the ESPN Wisconsin app. Download it today. It is a Friday. Good to have those Friday vibes with the music. Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, Chris Larson running the show. You, KBN Nation, ESPN Wisconsin, 800-990-3776 is the Carbless talk and text line. This is more. Jason Mosley just joined us. Carrington Valentine just joined us. A lot of great information. Learning about the dog that Carrington Valentine is fun. Like, I don't know, man. It's a guy now when I watch on Sundays. You just get to dial in a little bit more and watch him, and you get to see the mentality play out on the field. Yeah. And that's exciting to get a little bit of insight into someone who was a 7th-round pick. It's not by accident that he has found his way onto the field and to be a solid contributor for the team. But it's not like he's satisfied. He doesn't back down from the challenges. He's excited to go against the best wide receivers in the National Football League, which there are many in the NFC North. He has taken on the challenge of not being like, oh, I played in Kentucky in the SEC. I went down to all these other schools in the warmth. He wasn't like, oh, no, I don't like this. He loves the cold. He talks about the energy in the defensive side of the football at Jeff Hafley. It's energy. And it's one thing to say we're going to be this type of defense. It's another thing to act it and live it on the field.
And when we talk about guys taking steps year 1 to year 2 and year 2 to year 3, one guy that you can see taking those steps, and again, the expectations for him because he's a 7th-round pick is much different for our expectations for a 2nd-round pick or a 3rd-round pick or a 1st-round pick. But when we look at Carrington Valentine, if Lucas Van Ness had the same trajectory as Carrington Valentine, where we saw spurts, right, where we saw bright spots, we wouldn't be having a conversation talking about how concerning the defensive line is, how concerning the edge rushers are, how the fact that we're talking about the Green Bay Packers having to maybe go D-line or edge right here in the second or third round on day 2 of the NFL draft. Carrington Valentine should give you hope. Again, I don't think he's a cornerback number 1, but I think he's a dang good cornerback number 2 in the NFL, and he gives me confidence when he says that he's going into year 3, he wants to be better. I can't deny that. I can't push back on that because year 1 to year 2, I saw that leap. So I fully expect him to continue to take those leaps year 2 to year 3. I just wish other guys in that draft class as well will be able to follow suit, because you see it with Tucker Kraft, you see it with Carrington Valentine, I even see it with Jaden Reed. But we need more guys to have that year 2 to year 3 jump and have that pathway that those 3 guys have had.
Yeah, and when talking with Jason Wilde, he was like, there were some cornerbacks available for the Green Bay Packers to select in the first round. Obviously, Golden fell in a good place for them to feel confident to select him at 23, the wide receiver out of Texas that everyone is excited about. And again, if you're not excited, I'd love to hear why at 800-990-3776. But it's the belief and what Matt LaFleur and Jeff Hafley see in Carrington Valentine, that they don't feel like they need to reach early in the draft to get somebody, because he is a young player who's under contract at a very good price that can be a guy that takes that next step. Keyshawn Nixon's going to be a cornerback. I still think in this draft they're obviously going to need to backload that position. But the next thing I think they need to address is the defensive line.
Yeah.
I know Lucas Van Ness, Devontae Wyatt, Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, those are 4 first-round picks. One with a second contract in Rashawn Gary, one with a third contract, which is the one that I think is key here, and Kenny Clark. Who is going to be the pick that, I don't know, I'm going back and forth in my head of, like, do you go D-tackle because you didn't see the production out of Kenny Clark, and if it's a front-loaded contract like they've been doing a lot of these where they have some outs in year 3 and year 4 of his extension, it could be a good spot for a defensive tackle. It also is a need to have a consistent pass rusher, because even though I said Lucas Van Ness's name, and I know he's a 13th overall pick in the 2023 NFL draft, there's still some
there's question marks.
I just can't be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's just roll that out.
It is not our fault that we have questions about Lucas Van Ness. That is completely Lucas Van Ness' fault. Now, I refuse to call him a bust yet, because he still has time, right? Like, sometimes it takes guys a little bit more time to develop. So he is not a bust yet, but he has not lived up to the expectations. He has not made a big enough bang in any games. When has Lucas Van Ness made a big pop play in a big moment for the Green Bay Packers? He's had 2 seasons with the Green Bay Packers. Has he had any big moment on a third down where he made a huge stop where, you're talking about a team
trying to have us have a dead air right now?
No, well, that's the whole thing. I haven't seen any glimpses of him making big plays in big spots, so that is not our fault. That is on him, but he still has time because he's going to have another shot this year to step up. But you're absolutely right. When you look at what the Green Bay Packers could do, you say they need to go D-line in the second round. I won't get mad if they pick D-line, offensive line, or edge or corner. If they do any of those positions, I will be happy and I'll be satisfied. So I'm not going to be too particular right now. Me and Goody, we in good terms. Remember I told you we have an emotional relationship?
So now he's got to pass no matter what.
Listen, I swing left and right. The pendulum goes left and right with Goody. My emotions with Goody are crazy. Right now we are in a good place, and I don't want to rock the boat. So Goody at this point, and especially based off who we have available on this draft board, Goody, there is basically no wrong you can do. No wrong. We should not be mad at Goody coming out this draft unless he drafts a long snapper like the Packers did years ago.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
It's happened before.
Not this early. Not on day 2. Not on day 2. So I don't feel like you're going to have to swing back and forth really strong left and right with Goody. I think he understands the opportunity that's in front of him, right? He himself mentioned championship and urgency, and he bolstered up the offensive line, which is starting to feel, in hindsight, that maybe was a little bit too quick to judge, because ultimately if you are bolstering up your offensive line, you're telling yourself you believe in the running back you have and you want to protect your franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
And none of that matters if you don't have guys that can make plays on the outside.
Oh, but you got it now.
I'm
telling you, the offense is going to be ridiculous.
He is on the positive pendulum right now. It's just right on one side of positive. It's not swinging back to negative. The only way it switches back to neutral is if he doesn't go with one of the positions that we listed of defensive line.
Like if he drafts a running back in the second round, we'd all be very confused based off the fact that you drafted a running back in Marshawn Lloyd kind of early last year, and then you had Chris Brooks emerge as well as a key contributor. You don't need that, right? A quarterback in the second round. That will cause for people to say, "Oh, that's early."
Part of me wonders if in this 4-3, if we're sleeping. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't looked deep into linebackers on the draft. But if you can have Quay Walker, if you can have Edgerrin Cooper, Enoch Barre is more of now a down edge rusher. Mm-hmm. But if you can get another linebacker to make the middle of that field sideline to sideline, they were great compared to what we've seen in run defense. I'm just keeping that one on my radar because I'm fine bolstering up a position of strength in a 4-3. It's like if you're going to switch to a 4-3, the middle of the defense is super important. You need guys. You're going to rotate a ton more guys. This isn't a 3-4 where you're going to have basically the three down and then one's going to come off the edge, one's going to be like kind of a maybe rush, drop back in coverage.
Your linebacking core is definitely.
It's more important now than it was in the 3-4. So I'm just eyeing linebacker as a potential. If there would be a surprise for me from a position standpoint, the surprise I'd be okay with is saying, "Hey, we want to be dogs in the middle of the field."
Yeah, I'm telling you, me and Goody, we're gonna be cool today. Shout out to you, Goody. You did it, buddy. You did it.
Potawatomi Casino Hotel does it for you as well. They're giving away money, folks. Lots and lots and lots of money. July 27th, only at Potawatomi. They're showing why the standard with the highly anticipated season finale blockbuster drawings is the way to win endless amounts of money. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty roll into drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is up for grabs. Be there to win your share. June 27th. That is what's today, Friday? That's this Sunday. Holy cow. I mean, I'm not going to lie.
You said June or April?
Holy cow, June 27th. We're in April. I lost my damn mind.
We got some time.
Be there June 27th, but
you got some time.
The reason why they're doing this is because it says $300,000. They want people to know on June 27th you got to be there.
I need that. I'm eligible. I don't work for Potawatomi.
You and me both, bro. See you there on June 27th?
I'll see you there. Clear the schedule, boo.
Made them believe on June 26th. Be there with me.
On June 27th.
Then June 27th, we're at Potawatomi. It's gonna be a good week, June, in the middle of June there. All right, we hit the last hour leading into our NFL draft coverage of day 2. Scheduled to appear Gabe Neitzel at 5:15. Maybe Jason Wilde if he wants to come back. It's completely up to him.
Huh?
I'm just messing. You have an open invite, Jason. Open invite.
I got another TV hit, then I'll come back.
Another TV hit, and I'll come back. Look, I want to go deeper because I really do want to know what you're thinking.
Jason, you don't do makeup?
No, I don't.
No makeup?
You should go to Evan Cohen, the class of makeup. He can give you a master class in doing makeup.
Yeah, spray tans for Jason Wilde. I mean, TV guy.
Maybe there's some partnerships to be had.
That's a good idea. You can get the Brazilian wax wouldn't help him on TV like Kyle and I had to.
It would not. It's growing back. It's growing back. Thank goodness.
You see it?
Yeah, I'm so happy.
You see it?
I missed it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Last hour of this 4-hour extravaganza with Chris Larson, Kyle Walls, and Ben Brust. It's a great day to be a Packer fan. It's a great day to be alive. We're back in 2 minutes.
Northbound on 41 41, delays from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to about Hampton. We've got northbound 43 with an accident at Locust that's basically backed up all the way back through the Marquette up past Locust. The 2 right lanes are blocked, by the way, because of this accident. And then we've got delays from about National Avenue down and around the Hale interchange all the way to Forest Home. Traffic is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Decreasing clouds, breezy with a low of 39. Tomorrow, a few clouds, then mostly sunny, a high of 50 at the lake, 57 inland. Weather is brought to you by Higher Love Cannabis Company. Draft fans, score big at Higher Love in Menominee. Get 25% off in-store or online with code ESPN Draft. Hurry, offer ends April 28th. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD today. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Here's Frank Wazalewski, Vice President of Access.
There are some national factory direct companies that are selling people stair lifts at twice their value. They're breaking within a year, and they can't get service. So now people are paying 3 times what they should have paid from the get-go had they just gone to a local and reputable company. Call us, give us your price from your local contractor. We're going to beat it.
Access, the leaders in ADA general contracting since 1990. Will beat any stair lift quote provided by a local company. Visit allaboutaccess.com.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like Livingston Seed Packets, 25% off MSRP, up to $300 off select Cub Cadet riding mowers, all backed by our service guarantee. See an associate for details. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
In the 2025 NFL Draft, the NFL selects Green Bay, Wisconsin.
This is the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance.
Every single last one of us has spent hours and hours and hours and hours watching football, watching draft stuff. So for Goody to think that he knows more than everybody else, it has not been proven to be true on day one.
Because I truly believe that all the hype around the wide receivers is going to be something that we're not even going to be able to get excited for.
Now broadcasting live from outside the shadow of Lambeau Field,
Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
Here's Kyle Wallace and Ben Brust.
Smiling ear to ear.
I was just thinking, hey, can't nobody bring me down. I literally was thinking that.
Like, talk the talk, say you hate me. I don't care. It's great.
Can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh, no. I got to keep on moving. That's how I feel right now, baby. That's how I feel.
I mean, we're living a dream. We're in Wisconsin. We live in Wisconsin. We're in Green Bay. We're live in Lambeau Field. The Green Bay Packers play Mark Murphy again, because why not, Chris? Just why not? It was so good. It was so good. Oh, I loved it so much. I didn't give him a lot of time to prepare.
You did not give him a lot of time.
With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
Look at that noise, that crowd. Go, Pat, go. Go, Pat, go.
Mark Murphy absolutely nailed it. The Packers select Matthew Golden, the wide receiver out of Texas. Competition in the wide receiver room, a guy that can make an impact right away, a guy that fills the speed that Christian Watson will not be able to provide for the first 3 months. I'm done. I don't even care about the Watson family's negativity.
Man, just haters, man.
Bumps
Come on
all that.
now.
It can't, ain't nobody going, oh, yeah.
Man, I hope Christian say, y'all need to shut up. Leave it alone, man.
It's going to be a fun day, too, here. I see people trickling in.
Shout out to Wisconsin, nice, because boy, oh boy, it is a cold one.
Yeah,
it is a cold one. But you know what? We from Wisconsin, so most Wisconsin.
The rain has subsided.
It has.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a little bit different, right?
No, you're different in many ways.
I'm a city boy who got I'm a little warm blooded, so I can maintain in the cold, but I don't love the cold. But I forgot I'm in Wisconsin, baby. This is nothing. I'm shocked I didn't see more folks in shorts. Homer had shorts on yesterday.
Homer did have shorts on yesterday. He's the absolute
70.
best. Absolute best. So we're going to give Lakeland picks for the round 2 and round 3 at the end of our show at around 5:45, 5:50. Gabe Neitzel going to join us in a little bit here. But the biggest thing that I want to go back to is the excitement I have about this offense. Because I guarantee what's going to happen is we're going to get some defensive pieces added, and we're going to see how they're going to fit in with Jeff Hafley and the roster building that's currently being constructed for this team to continue to be a top 10 defense and maybe take a step being a top 5 defense next year under Jeff Hafley. We know they need more in some specific spots. But why not talk about the great things that happened yesterday, solidifying this offense? Like, again, tell me the holes. Tell me the holes.
Are you talking about the offense?
Tell me the holes.
Yeah, that's a great question for anybody. Oh, sorry, y'all. That's a great question for anybody.
Sorry, y'all.
Computer's about to die. But that's a great question because when I look at this football team, we should all be happy because there are no gaping holes on this offense. There's no gaping holes whatsoever.
I've never thought in my life that I'd care so much about an offensive line, but I do. Zach Tom is going to get extended because he's a very, very good pass protector.
One of the top emerging right tackles in the NFL.
And then when you look at an investment in Aaron Banks, sure, he was a guy that he's not perfect at everything, but he comes from the same style of play, the LaFleur-Shanahan system, so he's got comfortability in the offense. He's not a bad player. It just
he's an exceptional player who has a winning mentality, play for a winning organization, and play with a lot of talented guys.
Play next to Trent Williams.
So you know what it is. He knows what it takes to be great.
Rasheed Walker.
No,
I like him. We'd love a better left tackle. Right at the end of the day, you'd love a better left tackle.
The Packers drafted Jordan
Ellen Jenkins has been a mainstay in this offense, where he could literally play any position, and now he's moving to center.
He has played every.
Has he played every position now at this point?
He's been at tackle for some snaps before.
I don't know if he's been at left tackle.
Oh, every spot on. I feel like
has he played all 5? Alex Strofe here hanging out. You can jump on the mic if you want.
Some snaps at left tackle.
I mean, my question to you, Strofe.
Hi, boys.
What's going on? I'm trying not to be pommy, prisoner of the moment. Hit the sound effect. Ha ha ha. But slide on him. We got to get you on video. Alex Strofe
here I come. Here I come.
Where's the holes on offense?
Where are the holes on offense?
Maybe just like the unknown of
offensive line.
Why? You a lie?
No. I don't think it's a weakness as a whole. I thought I was finishing your sentence for you. The uncertainty of some of the offensive line positions.
No. I don't think there's uncertainty. You have depth now.
You do.
Like if Jordan Morgan, a first-round pick, is battling for a spot and can't win, it's still good to have somebody who was a first-round pick as a backup that's going to be at least serviceable.
You have 6 guys that you're going to feel you should feel confident
about
being in there. That is a plus. There are football teams that are missing multiple guys. You have a luxury of having another one.
So then we'll go to tight end. Everyone believes in Tucker Kraft.
And I believe in Luke Musgrave.
And that's the next part is.
Hell, I like Ben Sims.
Of course you do. If
he scored a touchdown, what you laughing for?
If he is healthy, the Matt LaFleur optimism of having 2 tight ends.
12 personnel, baby. Sign me up.
Whether it's 12, it's just another option for him in his plethora of opportunities to utilize talent and how he can package in different options.
Kyle, we want a little 0-2 personnel?
You said what?
O2 personnel?
Yeah, sure.
Did you play college football?
I did play college
What's
football.
O2 personnel?
So you empty with 2 tight ends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Empty 2 tight ends.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Crazy.
Let's go, baby. We don't need Josh Jacobs on the field. Give me Musgrave, give me Kraft. You losing your voice a little bit?
No, I'm good. I'm just talking like this.
I think he's exhausted. He put a lot of work in. He did the show yesterday. Well, kind of did the show yesterday.
Kind of did the show yesterday.
Kyle, guess what?
What is that?
We hung out last night.
We did hang out. I had a great time with Alex Stroh.
Is this nonsense? As soon as Alex Stroh comes, he wants to talk nonsense. So what
I imagine you guys have been reacting to Matthew Golden for 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
no, but we're.
Here's the thing.
Y'all be
Here's
ready.
okay. I'll get back to the point. I'll get back to the point. The Green Bay Packers offense is going to be freaking electric in 2025.
Like I'm trying to make sure that I'm not overreacting, and I'm going through position by position. I'm like, I feel good about this. I feel good about this. I feel good about this.
No, the ever-famous Jason Wilde, who's walking past us, would agree with me that they shored up the biggest hole on offense last night. Right? Correct? You would agree? Biggest hole on offense fixed last night in the draft. Yeah. He did give a finger upward, so it just wasn't his thumb.
Hey,
I saw a thumb. Don't you put him out?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Protect Jason Wilde. Why would you put him on blast?
I protect Jason Wilde every damn day.
He showed you his ring finger.
Yeah,
beautiful ring.
He was letting you know that he's
happily
married.
taken.
Yes, stay away from him.
No, but you're right.
Wide receiver position in Golden, like I don't want to forget that Jaden Reed, the last 2 seasons, was the leading receiver. And what I'm optimistic about is the way that he can thrive if Tucker Kraft continues to merge over the middle of the field. If Golden, who played 75% of the snaps at Texas on the outside at a 4.2 7 or 4.29 with the speed, and he played in the slot, so it's not like he's not just a one-trick pony. He's a production playmaker. He fits the mold there. That opens up gadget guy Jaden Reed.
Here's the thing:
if I see Bo Melton take 10 end-arounds, I'll lose my stuff because they have too much potential with how many assets they have on offense to do that.
You're totally right, and this gets rid of every excuse you can make for Jordan Love, aside from injury.
Yep.
Does this offense have holes? Matt LaFleur and Jay Love, time to cook, no excuses.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was my biggest takeaway from yesterday, is if you have a quarterback, and Matt LaFleur's been very, very, very outspoken about how proud he is of Jordan Love in enduring the injuries and pushing.
Why is he so weird?
Who?
Alex Stroh, this energy, where did this go? Did you just take
I don't know,
6 hour energy? He literally just looked at me while he was talking and just kind of winked at me.
He's got eyes that he drinks pounded 2 energy drinks.
You had to do so. You had some Celsius. I can tell.
Holy cow! He's
wired.
shaking in front of me.
Okay.
Can I be? Wait, before you go into your story, I had Celsius one time.
I don't have a story. What do you mean?
Well, okay, you were going to.
I was just saying sup to you, by the way. You didn't even make a whole thing out of it.
It was weird. I had Celsius.
This is perfect timing because I have Gabe scheduled for 5:15, and you are being so weird.
He's wired.
Gabe, they're making fun of me again.
He probably did it to himself. You're on from 6 to 11 or whatever.
We're on till 6 until Gabe needs to go do national radio.
So perfect. All right.
Oh, dang, Gabe.
You go run around, do some laps.
You think he's going to be much better? He's been awake since 6 a.m. like I have.
No, he's actually going to be able to talk and not just
He's
go bonk off the walls, man.
Aren't you excited like I am?
Yes, but he's very excited.
I'm glad you're excited.
He can channel that excitement and actually have a conversation.
Ben is mid talking to KBN Nation, and Stroh just looks me in my eye and just goes up and down with his head. I'm like, what are you?
He pounded 2 energy drinks and comes on the air.
I never said that. Just one. All right, bye.
There it is. Perfect timing.
Get that man some milk. Calm him down. Put him to sleep. Warm milk.
Think of the horses at the end of the races. But of course, we'll get to our Lakeland picks in a little bit. But you do have Tequila Mi Campo, made for Wisconsin, made for those who live louder. Please enjoy responsibly. 2025 imported by Mi Campo Spirits. Gabe, this is where I need you. Candiaga?
See, okay, so
I've just been saying made in New York.
Well, so what they should have done here for you, because they did it. Strofe had to do this read last night. They actually spelled it. They spelled it out phonetically.
If
for
anyone
him.
needs phonetics,
they're tripping you up.
Hooked
You need
on
to
phonics, Ben Bruss.
You need to talk to your fellow MCs. They are setting you up to fail.
But you heard me. Get draft ready with Tequila Mi Compost, made for Wisconsin. Please enjoy responsibly. 2025 imported by Mi Compost Spirits in New York. Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume. The voice you heard is Gabe Neitzel. You heard him on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy 7 to 9 this morning, bright and early on ESPN Wisconsin. He'll be hosting what time tonight on ESPN Radio?
We'll be on from 10:30 until midnight on ESPN Radio, kind of recapping all the draft stuff, but of course going to be part of the fun draft coverage here that can catch until 6:40 on ESPN Milwaukee, and then we'll be on the YouTube channel.
You know, it's hard to get me excited about something that the Packers do in the draft, but I'm smiling ear to ear. He's smiling ear to ear. You got to be smiling ear to ear. I want to talk about why everyone's smiling next.
More coming up next on the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance.
Northbound 43, a hefty ride out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. We do have a crash on the ramp from northbound 4394 to 43. It's right through the Marquette there. It is out of traffic, though. Northbound 41, slow from Watertown Plank Road all the way up to Silver Spring. We've also got some delays along southbound 41 from just south of Good Hope Road all the way down to Silver Spring as well. More delays on the bypass coming in from about just south of Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale interchange to Forest Home. Escape to the Knickerbocker on the lake. Enjoy stunning lake views, luxurious rooms, and exceptional dining. Experience timeless charm and modern luxury in the heart of Milwaukee. Book your stay at knickerbockerontheLake.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, decreasing clouds, breezy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, a few clouds, then mostly sunny, a high of 50 at the lake, 57 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Myron Metcalf.
I think you're drafting him to help Trevor Lawrence. Like that's the goal of everything you're doing in Jacksonville. And I think you do that by giving Travis Hunter as many snaps as possible on offense. I think you can do it at the start of the season. I think he will. To me, when you get into week 10, week 11, week 12, and now you got still a great talent, but a great talent playing in his first NFL season, I think you're going to have to choose at some point. I think you're going to have to say, okay, where does he help us? Because it's just so hard to play one position in the NFL. And the position he's playing demands complete exhaustion and fatigue on every single snap. So as great as Travis Hunter is, I think he can do it. But they're going to have to make a decision about what's best for the organization, I think, midway through the season.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
You're listening to the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Where's that higher love? I keep thinking
Get draft ready with Tequila Mi Campo. Made for Wisconsin, made for those who live louder. Please enjoy responsibly. 2025 imported by Mi Campo Spirits. Ready for this, Gabe? I got the phonetics from Ashton Rotman. Canandaigua.
There we go.
Canandaigua, New York. Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume. Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, no Brad Nortman. Chris Larson running the show back at the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all studios. 800-990-3776 is your Carbless Talking text line. List is more. And see Gabe's beautiful mug as well as Kyle's beautiful suit on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison.
Which suit do you like better, last night or tonight?
You know what? Last night's suit I loved. I really did because it was flashy first day. But today's suit, despite me having a jacket on because I'm cold, you can call me a wimp all you want. I'm freezing. Today's suit is just so clean. I'm not gonna lie,
I like the suit. I think he looks really good in this suit.
So I understand why the suit you wore yesterday wasn't for everybody. I loved it. I thought it was great. This is you nailed it. This is clean.
He looks clean.
This is so clean.
Yeah, when I
so
put this
fresh
one
and
on
so
today,
clean.
I was like, ooh, this one. Yesterday was day one. Day one draft.
Yep.
You got to stand out.
Yep.
Today is day two. You know, I'm not.
He's been picked now.
Pick,
He's a pro. He's got to present himself a certain way.
I'm clean. I'm not fashionable. Oh, I'm fashionable. But
very fashionable. Well, I mean, but you got to lose the quarter zip.
Yeah. I did that. And I said,
he's going comfort right now.
No, hey, I get it. You just got to survive out here, man. You just got to survive.
So Gabe Neitzel's with us here. Gabe, it was just like, it was one of those moments for me after doing this. You've done it much longer, but for the last 7 years, going on 8 years, I've basically been here for the entire Goody tenure, and for once, it all came together. Like, it came together perfectly. The draft is in Green Bay. Mm-hmm. Mark Murphy went up there. The board fell a certain way for the Green Bay Packers where the player that was there at the wide receiver position made sense for what they need on the roster and how he can contribute as a wide receiver right away. He's a speed guy. He came from a school in the Power 4, from a Texas team where he made plays in big moments and has the ability to translate into the NFL. And, like, when I heard the pick, I got like the chills and the goosebumps because it was finally something where I don't have to spend today's entire day saying, well, he's from North Dakota State and they barely passed the ball, or he wasn't even the best linebacker on the Georgia crew. He wasn't the best defensive lineman on the Georgia crew. He didn't even start at Iowa.
Yeah, there was no rationalization of the pick today.
It was just awesome to be able to be happy and celebrate and know that if you were somebody in the minority, it wasn't a 25 to 30 to 40% minority. It's a very small minority that are mad, and it's just people that probably wake up mad every day.
Yeah, I mean, when you take a look at like the measurables for this guy, like athletically speaking, he's the best Packers wide receiver. Now, obviously, there are more skills and everything that go into it, and he may not be wide receiver one from day one because there's a lot of growth and development that still has to happen. But I'm excited for this pick for a number of different reasons. When you think of the great Packers receivers from the Ted Thompson era, because there really haven't been any for Goody.
Correct.
Goody has not drafted a 1,000-yard receiver in his tenure.
And he's taken some cracks at it,
yeah.
Whether it's early or going like Jamon Moore and MVS and somebody else in
Equinemius
EQ in the same draft. Like we've seen Jaden Reed. He's good, but he fell off. But I think what this does, to your point of talking about the impact, is he fits the Christian Watson's out, the speed. He can also produce. But what that opens up for everyone else? Can Jaden Reed have more opportunities to not disappear because of what he can bring?
So as we talked about this on the show this morning. So the thing that makes me really excited is the one thing he could do in Texas, he could line up all over the field, and they did. And when you think of the receivers, the best ones that they had, that Ted Thompson drafted, Craig Jennings, Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams, those guys got moved all over the field. Because, hey, we're going to dictate. You're so good, and we trust you to be anywhere on the field. We're going to dictate matchups by moving you around. And as good as Jaden Reed was last year, when they went 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, guess who was not on the field? He was only on the field specifically as a slot receiver. That's all he did. They don't trust him moving to the outside. He has a specific role to fill on the team, and the Packers kind of have a lot of those guys. And, Romeo does this well. Dontavian does this well. And this Matthew Golden has the potential to do everything.
Yeah, like we talked about the speed, but it's he has the opportunity to show that he's more than just speed. Put him on the outside. 75% of the snaps in Texas were out wide. 25% were in the slot. And I love the matchup point, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't move Packers wide receivers around and dictate, like in the old water boy, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Oh, there's my who he kicks the onside kick to. But in this, you're dictating how you can win a matchup. Matt LaFleur has a plethora of options.
And really, when you think about when Christian Watson comes back and he's healthy, because I think that you see the 4.29 speed, and a lot of fans and a lot of my buddies that I've texted with today, they're thinking,
take the top off.
Take the top off. He's the replacement for Christian Watson. He's not. He doesn't play the same. Eventually, they won't play the same position if he grows the way he's supposed to. And then you have Golden on one side, you have Watson on the other, because turns out it's not illegal to have 2 fast guys on the field at the same time.
You better tell that to the Watson family. You saw what his daddy did.
We don't need to talk about him.
The reason why I was mad about that is because Christian Watson was an unbelievable teammate for Romeo Dobbs, and it's just like I feel bad for Christian
because again, he's not there to take Christian's spot. Nope. He's there to eventually take Romeo Dobbs' spot. Like that's who he's eventually going to replace. And if they have those 2, that's of a lot of attention you have to pay on the outside. And then again, matchup wise, it becomes twofold. One, it really opens up the middle of the field for Tucker Kraft, but also Chewy said this morning, if you have that kind of speed on the outside on both sides, you'd be dumb to play man. And guess who struggled against man last year?
Jaden Reed and the wide receiver.
Well, and Jaden Reed specifically against man-to-man coverage. So if you have those 2 on the outside and teams would be dumb to play man-to-man, you start playing zone, that opens up things for Jalen Reed. Things just start to fall into place. If he can develop the way we think, and obviously Goody thinks that he can, a lot of things are going to start to fall into place. Kind of the way things always seem to make sense when you had that number 1 wide receiver like Devontae, like Jordan.
And this is why a lot of Packers fans were so excited, because we believe that Matthew Golden can be that missing piece that we have been clamoring for. Somebody that can do exactly what you talk about and really open up this offense even more, because it was missing a guy that had the potential to be a number 1 wide receiver that had the versatility that you talk about. And so he can be the opening piece.
Absolutely. And what's fun in the meantime, while he continues to develop and grow, because he has 4.29 speed, he's not as fast as Xavier Worthy, but he's what I think of like when Xavier Worthy was initially drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs last year. Like, okay, he's got some growing to do. But he's so fast that Andy Reid's like, hey, 2-3 times a game, I just got to get him touches to see what happens.
I literally throw it, and we say, there's 10 yards. Maybe he only got 2, but we're still going to go again because he can break 1 for 20.
Because he had a couple of kick returns, 4 touchdowns in college. He's electric with the ball in his hands. He can make people miss, so it's not just taking the top off. It's getting him the ball near the line of scrimmage, see if he can make a man miss, and it turns into a big game.
Yeah, I also heard they're not opposed to potentially using him in kick return and punt return.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the way they want to do, I mean, look, the McCole Hardman deal.
He may not even be on the team.
Exactly. It's nothing you can't walk away from, right?
Like if Keyshawn Nixon, he's CB1, he don't want to do that kickoff return and punt return. So maybe, and especially you saying that he had 4 kickoff or punt returns or return special teams touchdowns. That's impressive. So no, I'm very excited for the impact.
What about tonight?
Tonight,
looking for depth-wise.
So I still think they need depth on pass rushing. Wouldn't hurt to get another corner at this point. I think they're very comfortable with Hobbs, with Keyshawn Nixon.
We talked with Carrington Valentine.
Yeah, Carrington Valentine.
I'm so impressed by him.
Kalen King, they like. Better. Yeah, and Kalen King, they have guys, and especially the way they use.
Kalen King right now?
I think so. I think they liked him as a developmental piece last year. Like, they kept him around. I think they're expecting him to continue to develop. And you have to remember, again, they got Hobbs, who's played a lot in the slot, but the money they paid him tells me they think he can play on the outside as well, kind of like Keyshawn Nixon can make that transition. The way they used their safeties last year as well. Remember, they like to put Williams in the slot and be that slot defender. So you've got that as an option as well.
Despite he came off the edge in the slot and made some big plays.
So I think that quarterback.
Was it he who stopped Kyler on that read option? Mm-hmm. And it's just like they have versatility, and I love the word versatility because that's what you need in today's NFL.
If there's a cornerback there that you really like and you can't believe it, like if Will Johnson is somehow still there and you're not as concerned about the knee, because that's the reason Schefter's told us that he's falling. And if you still really like him, maybe take him. But I haven't felt that corner's been as big of a need as maybe some others have. And again, if there's somebody that you really like there, go for it. But I think there's going to be a run on pass rusher early. There might be someone there. I've liked Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M. He's the one who was actually productive for the Aggies last year, getting sacks.
A sigh of relief from Gabe Neitzel when Shamar Stewart was no longer on the board.
Jen sprinted over.
She yelled while we were on stage, Gabe, it didn't happen. The Packers aren't going to get him.
She ran over here like when Giannis grabbed Chris and said, Chris, we did it. She ran over here and goes, Gabe, we did it.
I literally on stage says, Chris, we did it. Gabe, thank you so much. You're going to be on from 6 to 10, then on ESPN Radio from 10:30 to midnight. So enjoy
lots
your
of stuff.
Night. Thanks for popping on.
Bucks and 6.
Bucks and 6. Listen.
It's going to be a big game tonight.
Doesn't start until a team wins on the road, and we going to hold home court.
Have to. If you don't, I'm terrified to go back to Indy down 3-1.
Me too. More insights with Jason Wilde, then our Lakeland picks. We'll wrap it up and then send it to the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Show at 6 o'clock.
We're back after this on the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance.
Delays northbound on 43, going to be slow from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keith. There's still this accident on the ramp from 4394 northbound straight through the Marquette off on the right shoulder. On southbound 43, backing up just a little bit right past Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette. Northbound 41, a heavy ride as you're making your way up from Watertown Plank Road all the way to Silver Spring. Eastbound 94, lots of company. We got delays basically from the Zoo interchange all the way to 27th Street. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, decreasing clouds, breezy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, a few clouds, then mostly sunny, a high of 50 at the lakefront, 57 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
They say seeing is believing. And when you check out what's waiting for you at American Place Casino, you'll definitely believe you'll love it. From thrilling gaming to top-notch service, we're changing the game. Come play all your favorites like blackjack, craps, roulette, and the latest slots. Catch a game at the sportsbook, enjoy great restaurants, bars, and more. If you're ready for excitement, exceptional service, and an experience you'll never forget, then we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
I-94 Rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at 90's 2K Cafe Milwaukee, Champs Lake Geneva, McGillicuddy's Milwaukee, Kelly's Bleachers Wind Lake, and Magoo's on the Mound Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials. Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Whether tailgating or hosting at home, don't serve boring, bland food. As the official grill of the Green Bay Packers, Pit Boss brings the heat with a wide range of wood pellet grills, smokers, and hardwood pellet fuel. Reach another level of flavor that can't be achieved with a charcoal or gas grill, and it's beyond easy. Seriously, Pit Boss grills get cooking with just a few simple steps. Grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, char grill, barbecue, and direct flame sear. The all-in-one Pit Boss does it all. Learn more today at pitboss-grills.com.
Hey, want to make your next meal a little less ordinary? Well, head to Quick Trip. Hey, we are so back serving up our legendary No Ordinary Chicken. Yeah, your dinner is hand-breaded, fried to perfection, ready to eat for tonight's dinner. Or you can buy it cold, sealed fresh for tomorrow's lunch. You know, we love to make life easier for you. This isn't just any chicken. It's Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken. Stop in your local Quick Trip today and taste the difference.
Don't miss a second of the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance. Download the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app today and stay on top of it all.
Should be moving on, but you're the one I want. Crazy that I won't give up on you. So I hold on to your.
Welcome back into the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular here on Kyle Brust and Nortman, as we have an extra bonus hour of Kyle Brust and Nortman. And y'all know how Ben Brust gets down. He's always doing something else, but he's hanging out with our great fans and our great partners here as we are live from Green Bay, Wisconsin for the NFL Draft. He's going to be heading back here, but luckily we also have, if he's not going to come back, we're joined by Jason Wilde again. The makeup-less Jason Wilde, because he's too handsome for makeup. Ain't that right, Jason?
That's what it is. It clogs my pores. That was really something.
It was something, Jason.
So at one point, KBN, the only one we had was K.
Yeah.
Not even Strofe, who was kind of watching this all unfold.
I'm the only reliable one, Jason.
Chris Larson is handling things back home.
Doing well.
You are doing well. You are doing very well. Was that a live version of Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?
It will be on social media as part of Lakeland University.
Love Lakeland University. That's awesome. And you...
Are you running the show now, by the way? Because that's what it feels like.
No,
it's kind of funny.
Well, we weren't sure exactly when you were coming back, frankly. So Kyle and I were ready to just chop it up, him and I.
We was going to chop it up.
No, we can chop it up. I mean, ultimately, I think it's time to move forward for Matthew Golden.
Yeah, let's look at what's going to happen tonight.
Yeah, I want to talk about this for real.
Am I crazy? On my outside? Yes. My outside idea here is in the 4-3. Is it crazy to think that they might invest in the linebacker? I know they already have Quay and Edgerrin Cooper, but it's not a 3-4, it's a 4-3.
Yeah, so when I first started kind of looking at the puzzle pieces this offseason, there was part of me that wondered, are they going to give Quay Walker the fifth-year option? Are they not? Is there a chance that he has trade value and they would say, we've got Edgerrin Cooper, we can draft another linebacker? But I think Goody is a true believer in Quay Walker. And you guys and I have talked about this on previous occasions. I thought he turned the corner. Mm-hmm. I really did. I thought if you go back and look at how he played against San Francisco and then how he played against Miami on Thanksgiving, he was really starting to put it together. And then he hurts his ankle a couple weeks later in Seattle and misses the last 3 games, and obviously didn't play great in the playoff game, although the defense as a whole played pretty well. So I think he's here to stay. Goody said, we want him here in 26 and beyond. He said that both about him and Devontae Wyatt, right? Their 2 first-round picks from 2022. So I don't think that you're always looking for linebackers. The question that I have is, and the reason why they would maybe go linebacker is, have they seen enough from Tyron Hopper to think that they missed on him? There's not enough information on him to have a decision one way or the other.
I heard that some people, and again, I don't know who the people are, but some people were down on him, said he didn't play. I mean, he was a rookie last year, and there wasn't really high expectations.
Right. I mean, compared to Edgerrin Cooper, yeah. He was a huge disappointment because Edgerrin Cooper was great.
Wasn't Tyron Hopper like a 4th-round pick?
Third-round pick. So they took Cooper in the 2nd. They took Hopper in the 3rd. I was hoping they would either both be like Hopper and Copper or Cooper and Hooper, because I feel like I'm always on the verge of
Valentine,
exactly
just looking for something.
So I don't think you can make any judgment on Tyron Hopper one way or the other, and I think in fairness to him, that was a group where they really liked how Quay Walker was playing. They really liked Eric Wilson.
Who I like too. I think that's a loss.
I think they made a mistake there, and we'll see. But they did bring back Christian Welch, who should have made this team last year and didn't. Ended up in Baltimore again for a year. So I think they've got some options at linebacker. I don't think it's a something that. But if a guy falls to them and they're sitting there going, "What is this guy doing here?" It's kind of like with the South Carolina safety, Emin Worry, who had a lot of people thinking he was going to be the only safety go in the first round. He did not go. He will be available today. I am very curious. They're very much set at safety, right?
Correct.
They drafted 3 last year. They've got Xavier McKinney. But if that's someone that somehow is still sitting there at 54, I would think that he would be a tempting player.
He shouldn't be there at 50.
No, I would be shocked if he lasts, 21 picks to be there?
Oh, no, he's probably gone first 10 picks.
I would think so. So my point is that whether it's a linebacker or a safety, places where you don't think they have needs, if there's an incredible value, Goody's always going to say, look, we have this guy with a first-round grade. We're sitting here bottom of the second round. We're taking him. Doesn't matter what we've got at the position.
So you said earlier that you think the cornerback position, you feel really confident about the cornerback position.
I really like Carrington Valentine. I believe in Keyshawn Nixon. Now, here's why I think they'll probably draft the corner either tonight or early tomorrow, is because Keyshawn Nixon, again, he's not 30 years old, which we just get rid of guys once they turn 30.
Unless your name's Kenny Clark.
Right. Although he's still 29, and after this season he'll be 30, and then we'll say goodbye to Kenny.
He
go. I mean, Eric Wilson turned 30, and poof, now he's in Minnesota. But, Keyshawn Nixon is 27. He's still got plenty of time. But I don't know. I like him. I don't know how strongly Goody likes him or doesn't. I do know that Jeff Hafley really likes him. And the reality is that if you had to start, let's say their dime package. Let's say they went 6 DBs in a passing situation. You've got Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams at safety. You've got Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nixon outside, and then you've got Nate Hobbs, who you signed, who could be outside. They could flip with Keyshawn, but you got Nate Hobbs inside, you got Javon Bullard inside. That's a pretty good group of 6 you want to go there. Now, the problem is you have some injury issues, and now your depth has been depleted. You moved on from Eric Stokes, you moved on from Valentine, Robert Rochelle. Those guys all signed elsewhere.
Is Kalen King in the
Kalen
picture?
King would be the next guy in the picture, yes.
And see, so the one thing about this is I think we got a good cornerback room, serviceable. But the problem for me
not
is
elite.
Not elite. And you go against elite receivers in this division, and how much CV was confident. I love his confidence, and he's going to have to continue to grow and prove it on the field that he can go week in and week out and shut these guys down. But, we had Jair Alexander here where he had his ups and his downs.
We still do, by the way. Still on our roster, as Goody would say.
But I feel like having that elite corner, which, you never know. In the second round, maybe you find a guy who's elite. That just, again, elevates this defense to a whole new level.
But I guess my intriguing thing with the cornerbacks is being good is it's easier to have a good cornerback room and survive with that if you have a better pass rush.
No
and
doubt.
more
You're
consistent
1,000% right,
You know what I
Ben.
mean?
Clip that, Chris. You're 1,000% right, Ben. I can't believe I just said that.
If I send it for Strofe to use, he won't use it.
No, that will definitely not be a hotkey. But I think you're right. And so my expectation is that if there is someone that they like as an edge rusher at 54, that has to be the pick. But again, you don't know who it's going to be. I mean, again, my guy, and Jesse is the one who's pushing for this. He wants Mike Green.
He ain't going to be there.
Because he wants Mike Green and Matthew Golden.
Green and Golden. Almost like the green.
I love me some Jesse.
Green and growing.
Green and growing.
Yep.
I like Jesse. Jesse's just creative.
I don't know. Is that creative? Is that clever? Or is it just oaky?
He's punny. He's Jesse.
Punny. Yeah. Very good, yes.
He named the show the ESPN Wisconsin Spectacular, or he co-signed.
I call it the Spectacular Extravaganza Phenomenon. I'm just taking it another level that Jesse Nelson would.
Do tend to take things to another level.
I like running
historically.
I'd like to say, since I'm a dad of a 15-month-old.
Wait, you have a bumper sticker?
I do, yes. Quoted by Brian Balaga.
What? You guys got bumper stickers made?
We're getting shirts made too. I'm trying to put in some shirts.
Jason, I paid for these.
Okay. All right. Well, so I got to get. So what you're telling me is I got to get old boy Tausch to pay for some bumper stickers.
Good luck. Alligator Arms ain't doing that.
They'll say, I agree with Tausch.
You should print those, and I'll get them all around the office.
I'll work on that.
Jason, when you look at this draft, though, I mean, obviously Matthew Golden is something that we're all going to be happy about. But when you look at this draft, what is it that you think the Green Bay Packers truly like? Hey, the Green Bay Packers need to go heavy in this area.
So I think what's interesting, and obviously the Golden pick was energizing because, when you wait as long as they have to draft a wide receiver in the first round, he was the perfect pick at the perfect time.
It was so amazing to do this the last 7 to 8 years, Jason, and not be on here today saying, well, he was at North Dakota State. They didn't pass the ball. Or he wasn't the best linebacker at Georgia. Or he didn't start at Iowa. He had production, he has the measurables, and he has an opportunity to make an impact.
So he feels like the filet that Buck and Honey's had out yesterday.
Oh my God!
I missed that.
Oh, it had like a scoop of
crab.
Yes, a scoop of crab on top of it, and then this nice sauce. And I'm not usually a sauce guy, but the sauce was perfect. And then there were like mashed potatoes.
You're not a sauce guy.
Well, yeah, I'm not a big condiment guy.
Oh, I love
so
it.
if you make a steak, you're just eat like do you?
You're not supposed to put A1 sauce on steak.
No, I'm saying, but like, do you put some butter and some seasonings on it, and you're good to go?
Sure,
but butter isn't a sauce.
That's not a sauce. Thank you.
I guess I create.
You're doing well. In
my cast iron skillet, I'm putting the garlic. I'm putting the thyme. I'm putting the
but I'm
butter.
talking like this was like kind of like a hollandaise type sauce, like you would have on like
on a steak,
eggs Benedict. Well, I don't know if it was that. Believe me, it was just good. They put them in these small little bowls. They were like single serving.
Oh, so good.
And I think I may have had somewhere between 6 and 7 of them. I think that's frowned upon.
Evan Cohen got you on the firecracker shrimp, though.
Oh my gosh!
Those were
who had
good.
that? Wait, when did y'all have firecracker shrimp?
They had that too that they were giving out. Yep.
When?
Last night it was. They had people. I'm never.
I thought you were on cloud nine. Nothing can bring you down.
Where was I? I love firecracker shrimp.
And then they had these little. I think you were about to mention the meatloaf that they were also.
Wait, that meatloaf? When was? Oh, y'all playing with me?
No, they had meatloaf too.
Where was it?
They had
the cups. Where was this at?
So I don't go to a lot of high-end events. That's just not my jam, right? You, as a man of the community, you're at all these galas, and you've got the clothes to match, right? You had the jacket last night. You're dressed up again.
Shout out to Nick Avani.
Me, I've got all my free Channel 3 outfits on today, but they have folks walking around with like platters last night.
Get out!
And so one was one.
Dude,
it was like in a little.
Not see this?
I
did not see anybody.
So one
with
was.
This is during the draft. Had to be during the draft.
One was meatloaf, like little like cubes of meatloaf, and then it was on top of some potato. And then the next one was the firecracker shrimp in a little container.
I'm enjoying this so much.
They were magnificent. I can't believe you missed all this.
I'm
guessing they'll do it again with different.
I really think y'all lying to me.
appetizers. You better get off the air at 6 o'clock.
This is unbelievable. This had to be after 7.
No,
Wait,
no, it was right at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Dinner was at 6.
Oh, I did a stroll.
Did the wrong
Well, you
time
could
to
not
do a
have
stroll?
chosen a worse time to stroll.
Oh, no. Well,
He tried to do a stroll.
I legitimately, when it comes to firecracker shrimp, I have been fiending it. Like the dynamite shrimp, I have been fiending it. So the fact that I missed it yesterday.
Bro, chill out, man. He looks like he's going to
You know who he sounds like? He sounds like Mel Kiper after Shadur Sanders didn't get picked. I can't believe I missed the. How can you have firecracker shrimp and I don't get any?
Five on the big board's a tough luck.
Look, I understand. Because Louis Riddick, who I respect a ton, also, he was very emotional last night too, and I thought I was a little surprised at how invested all those guys were in Shadur Sanders. And again, if his name was Shadur Brust, would we have felt as strongly because he is Deion's son, and that obviously adds another layer. I know Stephen A. Smith was fired up.
Do we not think he's good? I mean,
look, I don't. Right. I mean, there's no question he's good, and there were clearly, I saw Adam Schefter's report. There were clearly people in Pittsburgh's draft room who believe he is very good and believe that they're going to regret not drafting him. Others don't feel that way. Look, this is the beauty of the draft, and I would Shadur Sanders is not going to call Jason Wilde for advice, but I'll tell you this: the disrespect is such a great card to play motivationally. We've seen it forever. It worked for Aaron Rodgers for a long time.
I thought he played it well, too, because he spoke yesterday about the disappointment.
Right, he was so much better than all the people talking about him were.
Correct. He presented himself better than the people talking about how they were disappointed. It's like the guy who's actually living it.
The guy who should be pissed and emotional.
And feels the pain inside him, handled it better than the people that are just, I don't want to say advocating, but that's
what they were doing. They were advocating. And look, if you believe your opinion strongly, I don't have a problem with that. I just thought it went a little bit farther than I was expecting. Alex Strofe is bringing you firecracker shrimp.
You a lie. Oh, they got it again
it's
today.
The most he's done for our show all
What
day.
a... Oh, I thought he was bringing the other one for me. He's eating it himself.
KBN Nation, I'm sorry.
This is a beautiful thing. You are such a good person.
He had a little caffeine, and I don't know if you can see it.
Is that what it? I didn't know what. I didn't know what it was.
He's
that
a
had
little
him going.
bug-eyed right now.
He's going to tip over our light if he keeps walking that way, though. I'm a little concerned about it.
Well, I want to make sure we get to the ESPN draft night on time and get our Lakeland picks.
Yes,
but this
thanks for having me.
Where
does it rank in your power rankings of dynamite firecracker shrimp?
Delicious. Give me 15 more of them just like it.
Well, you better tell Strofe because I'm going to go eat some of my own.
Enjoy, Jason.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
We're back with our Lakeland picks and then sending you to ESPN Wisconsin's draft coverage. Don't go anywhere. A big night ahead. It's Kyle Brust-Nortman, ESPN Wisconsin Spectacular Extravaganza Phenomenon. Next.
We're back after this on the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
I think that's right in the range that Emeka Egbuka would be there. I think it's possible that Ted McMillan could be there.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
We're speculating. It shouldn't be that hard. Like, either you want to play for the Steelers or you don't, right? Like, what are we waiting for?
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hi, I'm David Gruber. When you've been seriously injured, you need the best team of professionals on your side. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices to get the results you deserve. One call, that's all.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
According to American writer H.L. Mencken, a well-stocked bar can create over 17 billion different cocktails. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. I don't know if 17 billion is accurate or not, but I do know that Discount Liquor is the place to find everything you need to be well-stocked for any occasion. Discount Liquor is Wisconsin's home to over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines. Our unparalleled selection is rivaled only by our incredible savings and everyday low prices. And we know how to take care of our customers, no matter the occasion. In fact, Discount Liquor has won numerous national and local awards. Visit Discount Liquor at our Milwaukee or Waukesha locations. Family owned and operated since 1960.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. Check out our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's Dame time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and H&R benefits consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Why is everyone coming on their riding mowers and UTVs?
I figured all the neighbors could use a break from yard work, so I invited them for
a ride-on lawnmower movie?
Or, as I like to say, a movie.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like select bags of Timberline mulch, now 5 for $10. Save $30 on a 22-inch Yard Force push mower, and 20-pound bags of estate grass seed, $10 off. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
We know that the people of Wisconsin are hard workers, that they're tough. But even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
This is the ESPN Wisconsin Draft Spectacular, presented by American Family Insurance on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tell me.
Wrapping it up here, Kyle Bruston Ortman, before we send you into ESPN Wisconsin draft coverage from 6 till whenever they decide to stop. We got to get to our Lakeland picks. Kyle, Green Bay Packers, second round, pick 54. What do you got?
Yes, for me, we talked about the Green Bay Packers have needs on the defensive side of football. We talked about the cornerback position. We talked about defensive tackle, but also there is a need on the edge, and they have a lot of options for needs on the edge. And the guy that the Green Bay Packers need to get, it needs to be JT Tuimoloau. He is from Ohio State. That is my guy. He can be a difference maker day one for the Green Bay Packers.
Running out of time, but I love seeing production out of a guy not in the Pac-12 anymore, but they moved over to the Big Ten. 8.5 sacks from a monster, a 6'6", 295-pound edge. I love that. It fits the metrics for what Goody likes. The only thing I don't like is his age, because he played 5 years in college. So if he gets a second contract,
ages.
I'm just Goody. But those picks brought to you by, the best picks is brought to you by Lakeland University, where your best pick is your future. Customize your degree on your terms. Learn more at lakeland.edu/draft. That's lakeland.edu/draft. For Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, and all of our wonderful guests,
all right.
A great day yesterday with Matthew Golden. What's in store for us next?
Go, Pack, go.
We'll find out together.
Go, Pack,
coming up
go.
next, ESPN Wisconsin Draft Night.
Do it if you really don't want to dance.
It's delays on northbound 43 going up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. The southbound side heavy from just before Capitol Drive all the way down to about Locust. Eastbound 94 heavy out of the Zoo interchange all the way through to about 30th Street.